What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I'm your host, Emmanuel Noisette, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. I really, really do appreciate y'all. We are going to talk about the news from the week. We might have a Star Wars shakeup. We'll talk about that. We've got a couple updates from the DCU from James Gunn, and then, of course, some other things from the MCU with Marvel. And in case y'all didn't know, you might have ran into a couple of directors, might have had a little conversation, might have had a couple things to say, but we will absolutely talk about that coming up. I do apologize for being tardy right now. Unfortunately, while I was out, I'm working for the people, right? I'm working for y'all. So I need y'all to stay tuned. I have some interviews coming up that you guys are going to want to see with some people that you might know. But while I was out, unfortunately, we had like a power outage. And, my wife kept calling me. She was like, the power went out 3 times. I was like, and then when I came back, all the food in the fridge was just warm. And I'm sitting here like, what? Do I really need to get another fridge? So now I'm sitting here like trying to save. My wife is grabbing stuff, putting in the other freezer, and I'm like, I don't want to buy another fridge right now. I can't do that right now. So I think I have to buy another fridge, and I don't feel like dealing with that kind of stress. So I'm glad I'm here with you guys today so we can talk. All right, let's see what y'all up here. What y'all talking about? What's going on? Let's see who made it out tonight, and let's give some shout outs. My man Dex is Reason is here. What's going on? King Chad, what's up? I think you'll like this conversation a little later. Let's see. Mitch, how you doing? Good to see you. Paulette, appreciate you. Jerome's in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up? Sam K, hello. Jesus, good to see you. My man, Mr. Hughes, how you doing? Corey, how you doing? Good to see you. 60 plus, what's up? MC, good to see you. Come on, wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Gothic Chick, good to see you. Gray, how you doing? My man, Mr. Robinson is here. Diane, good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. Let's see. Eugene, what is up? Good to see you. Paul is in the house. What is up? We got the homie Tracy is back. Good to see you. Come on through, Kiki. Appreciate you coming through as well. My man Mike is here. Good to see you. Kid Mello, how you doing? My man Nelson V is here as well. Latrice, thank you so much for coming through. Anna Babe, good to see you. Who else did I see? My man Dwight is here. Hello. Tyra, good to see you as well. My homie Rhonda, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Kristen, what is up? Appreciate you coming through. Clinton, what is up? Good to see you. Callow, it's been a while. Good to see you as well. My man Sheet is here. Sean, what's up? Quiet One, how you doing? Chill Spot, appreciate you coming through. Who else did I see? I saw some other names. Gumbo Geek, I like that. What's up? Good to see you. Raymond, how you doing? My man all the way from London, Stamina MC. Good to see you. Sir Greystoke, hello. T-Ville, good to see you. And shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. Guys, I really, really appreciate it. So, of course, we have got to get into this. Oh, man, my man, Dwight, brother, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You don't have to, but I do appreciate it because I have never bought a fridge before. I've never bought a fridge, but I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how hard could it be to buy a fridge? You go to Home Depot, Menards, you see these things all over the place. And I'm sitting here like trying to order a fridge. And they like, oh, it won't come until next month. I'm like, what? Next month? I'm hungry now. What do you mean? I'm mad that our leftovers are all messed up. Like, I got kids to feed. What you mean next month? I need a fridge tomorrow. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a stress I don't wish on nobody, no homeowner, especially if you got a family, because every day that you won't have a fridge is a day that you're gonna have to, like, go out to eat or cook only just a little bit at that. Oh, it's too much. But thank you. Appreciate it. Very, very. I need that because I looked at the prices of the fridges. I was like, what are y'all cooking the food too? You gonna order the food? Is that how that worked? Because that was just that was nuts. That was nuts. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see. Got to okay. Okay, Chris. Okay, Kristen. Thank you. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you. I will listen. The missus is not gonna let me get anything that is not up to par. Let's just say my wife has a very fine taste in things. So I do have to make sure we get a good one. But thank you so much. I appreciate y'all both for that. I really do. All right, let's go ahead, guys, and grab this news. We got some bad news, so of course, let's try and get through that as best we can first before we jump into the other stuff. But we lost a couple folks here. And first up is Michelle Trachtenberg. She probably know her from Gossip Girl, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She has unfortunately passed away far too soon at 39 years old. Whew, man, that I don't like that. That's messed up. But I mean, I knew her. I didn't watch Gossip Girls, and I only watched a little bit of Buffy, so I didn't really know her from that. I knew her from Pete and Pete, like way back in the day. I know I'm dating myself. That's way, way, way back in the day. And what was the other? And Harriet the Spy. I knew her from those shows. See, that was the old school Nickelodeon Saturday afternoon TV shows right before Snick. Right before Snick. See, some of y'all don't even know about Snick. Y'all don't even know. But anyway, so sad to hear about this. Talented actress, at least from what I remember, and a lot of people have some positive things to say about it or say about her. And yeah, so far I don't think there were any real details that were released as to the cause of death. But either way, it is just sad. It does say here that she had recently undergone a liver transplant, and there is no criminality suspected by the police. So, thoughts and prayers obviously going out to her family, friends, fans, and all that. That was absolutely sad to hear. And I'm sure some of you have also heard as well. Man, we lost the legend here. And that was Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman and his wife have sadly passed away. Gene was about 95 years old, and his wife, I believe, was 65. I mean, Gene is like, man, goated, Hall of Famer, right? Like as an actor, the French Connection, Superman, he was Lex Luthor. Like this dude is done. He's been around since like I've never known a time when I didn't know about Gene Hackman being in something, like when the Enemy of the State, with Will Smith, like just quality actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this man, I've never seen him in something that was like terrible that I can recall. So I think that he's definitely going to be missed. I mean, 95 is a good ripe old age. So he's definitely lived a life. But my goodness, the circumstances of his passing and his wife are definitely eerie and strange. You've got, let me see, what do they say here? So it says that his wife and their dog were all found dead in their home. Police believe that there was no foul play, but there is an active death investigation going on. Yikes. Like, I don't know what that should mean or what it could mean. That's a lot of stuff going on. Hold on, I think we got a couple more details. It says here the bodies were found by two maintenance workers. Arakara, his wife, was laying on the bathroom floor. A prescription pill bottle was open on the countertop with pills scattered nearby. Hackman was discovered in the mudroom adjacent to the kitchen with his sunglasses by his side. It appeared to the detective that both had fallen to the ground. A dead dog was also found in the bathroom closet near his wife's body. Two healthy dogs were also found on the property, one near her and the other running loose outdoors. The front door was open, though there was no sign of forcible entry. And they say here that there was no signs of like a gas leak. And I also saw another report saying that they did like the toxicology or toxology test on them. There was no carbon monoxide or anything. So this is definitely strange, but either way, it's very strange, but very unfortunate. You know, we lost a great actor. You know, he lost his wife, who I believe is a renowned pianist. But my goodness, that's just tragic. So, once again, throwing out some positive thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to the fans, family, and all of them as well. So, if you got any favorite Gene Hackman, or Michelle, TV shows, movies, whatever. Michelle wasn't she in Euro Trip too? I think she was in Euro Trip. Like, it's been a while since I've watched Euro Trip. That was a funny movie. That movie, they cannot make that movie again. But yeah, anything that you guys think of about Gene or Michelle, please feel free to let me know in the comments as you go. All right, let's move on. We have wait, I think I got some hold on, let me get this. Oh man, my man Nelson, thank you so much. A little something for the fridge, E-Man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I'm looking forward to Daredevil Born Again, even though I didn't watch the entire Netflix series. So Nelson. Sorry. Okay. So I have seen the first 3 episodes of Daredevil. Nelson. I've seen the first 3 episodes. And I have to tell you, it makes no sense to watch Born Again if you have not watched season 3. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, don't even touch Born Again, because Daredevil, and I can't give y'all a review yet. I think the review embargoes March 4th or something. And we will cover it. By the way. Oh my God. We will. Them first 3 episodes, we gonna cover them. Oh yeah, we have to. But it's a direct continuation. So this isn't one of those, like, they might as well call this season 4. They might as well, because they was like, yep, right where season 3 ended. I don't know, 5 months later, a couple months later, whatever. Now we into this. But it constantly references stuff that happened in season 3 and builds off of that. So if you're not going to, if you're just, don't do that to yourself. That's all. Y'all know I care. I care about your viewing experience. Don't do that to yourself. Go watch it. Season 3 is very good, in my opinion. So make sure you go check that out. I would say it's very, very close to required viewing. I would say that. But thank you for that. Appreciate you. Let's see. Kiki, what you got? Nothing is worse when your washer and dryer goes out. Woo! I went one weekend without my dryer and I had to go to the laundromat. I ordered my dryer and requested expedited delivery so fast. First of all, let me compound that by saying you're right. But the real question is, how many clean draws did you have left? I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm just saying that would be my determining factor of how much of an emergency state we are in. Okay, fellas, I'm sure a lot of y'all that do your own laundry can associate with this, especially if you came from college and you was doing your clothes. You know, laundry day is determined by the time your drawers get to about 1 or 2 left. When you start getting down to the emergency boxers, okay? When you start getting down to that one little piece of underwear that you don't even want to touch because it stay all the way in the back of the drawer, that's when you know it's laundry day, okay? So if your washer and dryer go out and you on empty, whoo, no. That's cold level orange midnight black. Okay, that's an emergency. That's a national. Stop everything. You might just need to go. Now, some of y'all lazy. Now, I know I'm going to call some of y'all out. I'm going to be a little loud for y'all. Some of y'all finna just go to the store and buy some more drawers because y'all just nasty like that. Okay, but I'm not going to judge y'all. I'm just saying it is nasty, but I ain't going to judge y'all. But that's the real question. Okay, that's the real question. Where was the draw level at? Okay. Anyway, thank you, Kiki. I appreciate you as always. Let's see. Tony, what you got? Haven't felt this emotional over a celebrity death since Robin Williams and Chadwick Boseman. Definitely hit me a bit, but this is on a whole other level, especially as someone that grew up on her movies. Well, yep, I can understand, man. Like it's definitely something that sucks. It hurts, and everybody is going to have their own level of connection with these films. So I totally hear you on that, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. You know, I I'm right there with you with the Chadwick stuff. You know, that was the last, man. That hurt me. That hurt me a lot. You know, but anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you for sharing. All right, is my man here? Where is he at? Is Terrence here? Is Terrence? I don't know if Terrence is here. He might be on the replay or not. Okay, but anyway, we got some quick updates, and man, is Terrence here? Do we know if Terrence is here? Terrence? No, is he not here? Dang, man, come on, man, brother. I know you can't be missing out when I finally got something for you. Because Terrence, shout out to Terrence real quick, just because he's always steady with the cash apps, you know, always steady with the support. So I'm gonna see if I can like thumb up one of his cash apps or something just to remind him, like, I already did. Okay. Well, shout out to Terrence, because his brother every time religiously will ask me about Doctor Who, and I don't have nothing for him half of the time. But this time, I got something. It's not much. But we got a quick update because Doctor Who Season 2 will officially premiere on April 12th on BBC iPlayer. What is iPlayer? And Disney Plus. So, Terrence, wherever you are, because I don't know who else watches Doctor Who, but if you and others enjoy this, there you go. It's coming out April 12th. Don't ever say that I didn't give y'all a Doctor Who update. Oh, okay. Kristen, you also great. Okay. Then it's for y'all. There you go. Oh yeah. Y'all remember we was talking about the Masters of the Universe, the He-Man live action, and we was talking about that the dude that they got to play him. What's his name? Nicholas Galitzine, I think. Galitzine. And we saw he was in the gym. You know, he was out there working out, unlike some other immortal people, but that's neither here nor there. We saw him working out. And guess what? Now we got a quick little first look at what he looks like. Maybe just a quick look. And it says here, this is the first look at the live action Masters of the Universe movie starring Nicholas as He-Man and Jared Leto as Skeletor. I completely forgot he was Skeletor. In theaters June 5th. 2026, but look at that, my man. Look, okay, pectorals. Okay, sir. I see the deltoids. Okay, you see the little the biceps. Okay, all right, but hey, man. All right, You see the little V shape. All right, sir. Okay, I see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I clowned you at first. I'm not gonna hide that. I clowned you at first because you was kind of model looking-ish. Okay, but now, look at the Conan hands. Y'all remember when Arnold had the Conan hands? He got the Conan hands, got the big old sword and everything. Sir, I see the push-ups. I see the dips. Okay. Listen, I'm shout out to you for that. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. Clearly, this man has been putting in the work in the gym, and that is honestly, listen, it don't take that much to be impressive with a He-Man type of story. You just want to go ahead and have a swole dude beat up on Skeletor and say, "I have the power." That's all. That's all you need. Okay, that's all you need. So shout out to him. I can't say his last name. I don't know what it is. But shout out to him for putting in the work. I appreciate that. All right, what else do we have? We got some theater news. Now, y'all know that this has been an issue ever since the pandemic. So ever since the pandemic, we know that streaming was taking over. Movies were dropping very, very fast to streaming platforms. And while they were being dropped, the theatrical window was being cut. And this is, by the way, it's been changing how we interact with movies, right? Because of this. And now we have a update, and this is from AMC Theater CEO Adam Aaron, who says that the 17-day, 30-day theatrical windows are too short. And there's a very live debate right now to have movies in theaters for longer. He said we would like to convince all the major studios that they should keep movies in theaters longer. Well, of course he would want that, because as I've told y'all before, it's in the theater's interest to have the movie stay longer in there, because the longer a movie stays in the theater, the more of the percentage of the cut of money goes to the theater. Because remember, theaters don't make money. They don't make that much money off of the movies when they first come out. So the fact that they're about to sit here and like let this thing linger a little bit longer, yeah, I mean, it sounds like he asking for some more money. Like, please, sir, leave your movie in theaters. We want some more, But at the same time, I think, and this is a question I have for y'all: do you think that it's better to have a movie be in theaters a little bit longer? Is this something that you would want as a consumer? Now, I mean, I'm kind of iffy on it, like, because I feel like on one hand, if a movie sucks, get that sucker out of there. Sorry, Fast and Furious, take your butt to streaming, right? Sorry, Black Adam, go be number one on iTunes. Whatever it is, if you're not cutting it, get out of here. But if it's a good movie and it's something that I think, could get some more run to it, go ahead and leave it in. You got people that probably don't have the time to watch a movie in the very first week or the very second week. Maybe they need like 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to plan around, bring their family and come and watch it. Not to mention, you'd hate to see a movie that maybe didn't get a lot of publicity, maybe didn't, maybe it needs word of mouth and it's starting to get better. But by the way, quickly we put it on streaming. You know what I'm saying? So maybe sometimes you do want to leave some of those things in there for a little bit longer than 30 days, because maybe it takes us a little longer for the movie to like gain some legs and some traction. But y'all let me know, is this something that you would want? Would you like to see movies stay in theaters a little bit longer? Or are you fine? Maybe you just like, man, whatever. Like, I watch it streaming. I got my 80-inch TV at home. I'm good. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. What else we got? Oh, yes, there's another one. So definitely, I don't even know if it's a cult classic. I think it's just a comedic classic. But we're finding out now that Marlon Wayans, who has been in charge of Not a Scary or Scary Movie franchise, but that ain't even what probably put him on the map besides the Wayans shows and just being a Wayans brother. But this classic movie right here, White Chicks, is getting a sequel. And he went on Good Morning America and said, it's time. So my question is, how do you make this movie today? Because I feel like culturally, there are so many things that have happened where we went through a period in society where we were super rough with our comedy. That was the 90s, early 2000s, etc. And then you get to like the mid 2010s, you got the Me Too movement, you got, all the wokeness, whatever happening, and people started getting real sensitive. But now it seems like there's another shift in culture where people are just like, man, even Nazism is cool. So I don't know how to call it anymore. I don't know where to go with this anymore. Like, it is this okay? Like, can this work? Do you all think that they have to change the way that they made it work last time? I don't know. I don't know if society's ready for a second one. I don't know if they have to water it down. I don't know if this will work. I don't know. But whatever y'all think, please let me know. Are you interested in a White Chicks Part 2? And is this something that you would be going out to check for? Let me know. By the way, I don't know if y'all are fans of her or not. I am, but it looks like 2026 is about to be Zendaya's year. Because right now she is going to be in Shrek 5. She's going to be in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. She's going to be in Spider-Man 4 with her boo thing, Tom Holland. She's going to be in Doom Messiah. And she still got Euphoria season 3 coming up. I mean, listen, this girl, she about to win something. She's going to be all over y'all screens, all over the movies. Like, she out there. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with her. She's fine to me. Like, I'm okay with her as an actress. But man, she getting them checks. Okay. She is working. Go ahead, do your thing, girl. Go ahead and get that paper. But prepare next year. Y'all finna get a whole lot of Zendaya. A whole lot. What else do we have? Okay. We do have a quick update. Now, I've been trying to keep y'all up to date on everything and anything Constantine, and we do have a quick one. Now, this comes from Keanu Reeves himself, and he says here that they've pitched the story for Constantine 2 to DC Studios. They ready now. Okay, they are ready. He says we're going to try and write a script. So maybe they're not all the way ready. Partially ready, but it sounds like, we talked about this last week. They have a partial script together, or they have a story idea. And Keanu Reeves has brought this to James Gunn and Peter Safran. And if, we'll talk about them a little later, but both of them, Peter Safran and James Gunn, they're all about like, yo, where's that script at? Like, give us a script and then we'll talk. So I like the fact that we had the former director on board. I like the fact that Keanu is now confirming this. Let's go. Please. Let's make this happen. And Keanu also said that basically this would take place in the same, since it is a continuation, it would still happen in the same world of Constantine. So this would probably not be a DCU thing. This would probably be an Elseworlds DC project. Either way, I'm fine with it. Please green light that and let's make that happen. All right, guys, y'all let me know. What did you think about all those updates? Anything that stands out, anything that you got your thoughts about, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. All right, moving on. Y'all know I am a fan of the Alien franchise. I'm also a fan of the Predator franchise, even though they got some some big misses. Okay, there's some Predator movies that are goated. I think the first one probably that's as good as it gets. I don't think they've ever made a Predator movie that's better than the first one. Okay, get to the chopper. Like that's if that comes on, I'm watching it. Period. But you also have the Alien franchise, where I think my favorite is probably Alien 2, and then Alien Romulus might be right up there, and then maybe Prometheus Covenant, one of those. Like I kind of like that whole thing. But one of the things, and Prey. I gotta make sure I mention Prey. Prey was also good. But one of those weird films that kind of lived in the ethos was Alien versus Predator. And if you kind of think about what was going on when these movies were made, Alien versus Predator is not really canon. I mean, when you think about what was going on with Predator, not Predator, with Alien Covenant and Prometheus, it seemed like Alien versus Predator kind of got phased out. That's not to say that they can't phase it back in, but it looked like they phased them out of continuity. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how they want to handle that. But you've had comic books, you've had the movie, obviously. And I think that there's like a general interest in Alien versus Predator. But we got Fede Alvarez, the director of Alien Romulus. He commented on this and he talked about his idea on an Alien versus Predator. And I've already been a huge fan of what he did with Alien Romulus. So you already have my attention. I'm also interested in what you about to do, or what you might do with Alien versus Predator. So he said here, at some point, once there's another Alien, and I know he's working on a sequel, he's talking about Dan, who's doing Prey, the director of Prey. One day, if we feel like, yeah, that's what we cannot wait to see, I think that's a movie we could do, as in Alien versus Predator. So he's not against it. He's not against doing an Alien versus Predator, which I'm cool with. But this was his idea. He says, it's harder to keep secrets online. Yes. The best Alien versus Predator will be the one that you don't know is Alien versus Predator until the other guy shows up. You think you're watching a Predator movie, and then they land in some place and there are creatures and it's a xenomorph. Or vice versa, you're in an alien movie and then suddenly a mysterious creature is there and you can hear that sound and you see the cloak and you go, oh, is that a predator? That would be the way to do it, don't you think? Once you put it in the title, it's like, spoiler alert. Listen. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that, because here's the thing. Do y'all remember when you watched Predator 2 with Danny Glover? And this is before the internet blew up, before theories were a thing. When he walked through that area to get to the Predator and we saw that xenomorph head, people was like, yo, that was a crossover we didn't even imagine at the time. But I do think that this would be a good idea if he did this. Now, is this kind of spoilers that he mentioned this? Maybe. Like, now, is this going to be spoiled for the masses? Probably not, right? Like, all 262 of y'all that are watching right now, maybe, and that's unfortunate. But to be honest, like, he never said it would be in the next movie. Maybe he makes another Alien movie and you don't see a Predator. Like, how long are you going to wait until that happens? Or maybe it happens in the next Predator movie. And, how long? Or are they going to tease it? Either way, if he can make that idea and if he can keep it under wraps, that's going to be the hardest thing. If they can find a way to make it happen, because here's the thing. You don't know which movie it will happen in. Is it going to happen in Fede's movie with Alien, or is it going to happen in Dan's movie with Predator? We don't know. So I support this idea. I was going to watch either film anyway, but if you have both of these creatures come up, just show up randomly, I think that'd be a nice surprise, even if we kind of sort of think it might be coming up. But I don't know. You guys let me know. How do you feel about Fede's idea of trying to slip in an alien or a predator in one or the other's movie? Like, is this a good idea? Now that he even mentioned it, is that like, does that take the surprise away from you? Again, none of this is greenlit. None of this is like, 100%. So, this is just, they're just speculating at this point. But y'all let me know, how do you feel if that were to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. What else do we have? So we were talking about James Bond last week, and as you know, the classic IP is now in the hands of MGM Studios, which basically means that Amazon Studios owns them. Right now, Amazon already owns MGM, but MGM basically bought. They're now co-partners with the Broccoli, family or whatnot that was managing the whole IP for James Bond. But at the end of the day, creative rights are with Amazon. Let's just leave it at that. So it seemed a little odd that they would sign over the rights. Like, why give all these creative rights over to them like that? But I don't know. I think we got a little bit of extra insight here as to maybe why that happened, or I don't know. I don't know. It might be something a little enlightening. So you guys let me know what you think about it. But this is from Jeff Bezos, and they were kind of talking about the whole transition. Bezos, it said here that he's keenly interested in how the tech giant Amazon can bring Bond into the digital age. That sounds like y'all finna do streaming right off the bat. Like that's just what it sounds like. But Bezos said this: if you own a Ferrari but don't control where or how or if it goes, it's frustrating. The Broccolis have provided the best example in Hollywood history of managing a character. But in today's complex landscape, it makes sense for Amazon to get in the driver's seat and control their own destiny. Yikes! 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 That sounds like, and I know it's not the same thing, but it reminds me, or it sounds like big corporation like Disney looking over there at that little old Star Wars over there and being like, man, why y'all only making movies? All y'all doing is movies. Y'all could be doing TV shows. Y'all could be doing animated series. Why don't you come over here and let us drive that Ferrari that y'all got parked in the galactic garage? That's what this sounds like, So I'm not gonna be surprised if Amazon. I mean, look at this though. Look at what Amazon's already done with the Lord of the Rings franchise. They was like, man, we gonna make us a whole spinoff. I would not be surprised if Amazon was like, you know what? Let's do an MI6 series, or let's do a 007 series that's all about the mantle or designation of 007. And you see multiple 007. I don't know. Like it. I don't see where this is going. I don't see where or how. Now, if y'all going to make more movies, that's fine. But I already told y'all it was a red flag the moment they sat here. Well, Jeff Bezos sat here and asked everybody, who do y'all want to play James Bond? Do you know how terrible that is? Do you notice how, like, ever since we got James Bond, we've never had to pick? And that has probably been the best thing for James Bond. The best thing is the fact that you just get them and you accept them and you roll with it. And if you don't like them, that's cool because you got another James Bond from the past that you probably like, or you could just wait for the next guy to come in. So far, they've pretty much all been fine, right? But yeah, this feels very McDonald's-y. It feels very Facebook-y, you know, where something cool is over here and the big corporation is like, let's go ahead and take this and just make it for the masses. And now it's not, now let's make it more mainstream. Let's make it bigger, you know? It's just weird. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, if you go to McDonald's and they be like, oh, y'all got pizza? We got pizza. Oh, y'all selling sweet potato pie down south? We selling sweet potato pie, you know, or Walmart. We're just going to sell everything. You know, Walmart, I remember they was there just to sell random goods, and all of a sudden they got appliances, they got grocery stores, they got gas stations. Like Walmart's like, we're everything. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like Amazon is about to take this very carefully cultured and crafted IP that is James Bond and just make it as wide mainstream as possible. And I don't know if that is the best thing, because I mean, this man just called it a Ferrari, but he was like, man, I can't drive it where I want to. Sir, where are you trying to go with this Ferrari? Because you don't just drive a Ferrari just anywhere. Like, it sounds like he want to go, I don't know, driving in the desert or something with this, and just like, what are you doing? Because you might get too much sand in the exhaust and the transmission. I don't know if I trust you right now with the James Bond property. That's all I'm saying. But there was one other point here that got me kind of questioning. And it says here, according to some sources, Broccoli was too cautious and exerted outsized control to the detriment of Bond. Sources say Christopher Nolan expressed interest in directing a Bond movie directing a Bond movie following the release of Tenet, but Broccoli made clear that no director would have final director's cut while Bond was under her purview. Nolan, who is a final cut director, wound up making Oppenheimer. Imagine you a studio head, you a producer head, and you got one of the top 5, maybe even top 3 directors working in Hollywood today. And you fumble that bag because you said you don't get final cut. You don't get final say. There's at least 2 directors, maybe 2 directors that I think are just automatically foolish to say no to. One is Christopher Nolan, and 2 has to be James Cameron. You don't say no to the guys that will give you either a whole lot of money or awards or both. Like, almost automatic. It's almost automatic. Y'all see Universal, they shut their mouths. Universal said, hi, Chris, whatever you want, here's the check. Fill in the numbers when you're ready. They don't say nothing. WB, the old WB, they dropped the ball and Nolan walked, and then he went and made Oppenheimer. Man, Universal ain't blinked. They said, oh, you want all the IMAX theaters? No problem. All the IMAXs, please. Yes, all of them. Put them down. Thank you. That's it. That's it. James Cameron, you build him an office. Why? Because he bought your studio. Y'all forget about that? Y'all remember? He was like, I'm the one that bought that studio for y'all because my movie only make billions. I only make classics. Like, this is what they do. So to sit here, I don't know if there ever was a director to give a pass to. I understand. Maybe you don't want to give that to everybody. I get that. But if Christopher Nolan walks through the door, you let that man cook. Okay? You just and if it fails, okay, you'll be all right. We lived through Quantum of Solace, did we not? That was not my favorite James Bond movie. That was not good to me. But we lived through that. So what harm could Christopher Nolan actually do? He gonna raise your budget up. I know that. He definitely gonna want a jumbo jet flying over London and blown up Big Ben or something. Like, something bad gonna happen. Okay, he gonna want that. But I mean, listen, if that was the tipping point, I could see why Bezos and Amazon was like, you said no to who? Oh, hell nah. Nah, we buying this. Come on. Thank you for your service. Come up off them rights right now. We about to take over. You're not about to. We could have had Christopher Nolan. Amazon, look, James, boy, all them execs probably was like, what? So anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about the news here that Christopher Nolan could have directed a James Bond movie, but got blocked? He got blocked by the Brocolis. And Amazon was like, yeah, we're going to step in. We're going to take over this whole thing. Was that a wise decision? I mean, it's not like they've been doing bad with the Bond films so far. I don't know. Whatever y'all think, let me know in the comments. What you got, Tyra? Thank you so much. I read a blind item about how they really didn't want to sign over the rights, but Jeff Bezos threw so much money at them that they couldn't refuse it. Listen, I understand. Like, Jeff Bezos is what? The number 3 richest man in the world? If that, and I mean, let's be honest, James Bond is a moneymaker. Back in the day, they used to even have animated cartoons. How many of y'all remember James Bond Jr.? Do y'all remember that Saturday morning cartoon? That thing can't I think it got canceled so fast. But I'm just saying, like, it's got legacy, it's got name brand recognition. For all we know, they might open up a ride in Universal Studios or something and have a James Bond ride or something. I don't know. There's another. They could drop another. Ooh, wait a minute. If they drop another GoldenEye, I'm talking about the game. I ain't talking about the movie. Movie was great. That was great. But if they drop another GoldenEye, and if they make that GoldenEye updated with today's graphics, today's gaming, and all that, that might be something. That might be something. So, listen, I understand. If you're throwing all that money, I think what's also helpful is the fact that they're still on board. So they still have some say, but they don't have final say. So, But hey, if you got a nice payday, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, what else do we have? We've got some. Let's do some MCU updates. So we got some quick MCU updates about some Disney Plus TV series, things that are coming out. So as I mentioned before, we are absolutely talking about Daredevil. We have so much to talk about with Daredevil, because yikes, they doing some things in this show. Like, let me. I need to give this to y'all so y'all understand what's happening with Daredevil. I've told y'all before the different yellow flags and the red flags, right? Studio won't give you screeners. The movie, they'll hold the embargo all the way to the end of the release or something like that, or they'll only give you one episode or what, Those are all the yellow or red flags that maybe y'all not really cooking the way we think or hope. Let me tell y'all something. And I need y'all to say, I'm telling y'all this so that way you're not, so you are aware, because I don't want nobody to spoil stuff for you online. So be careful with Daredevil stuff. If you care about Daredevil, be careful, because Disney said, here are all the episodes. I was like, wait, what? Are you serious? You gonna give it to everybody like that? Well, not everybody, but the press, right? Media, stuff like that. I was like, okay, all right. I haven't watched all the episodes, but from what I have seen so far, I'm like, hey, now this right here definitely sounds interesting. You have my attention. It sounds like you guys know what you're doing. It sounds like you know what you want. So that is a huge amount of confidence for Disney, who, from all I can recall, they have never done this, at least not for a long time, for years, to give all the episodes out like that. They believe in this. They believe. Now, another green flag, a positive sign, is the fact that Daredevil Born Again season 2 will be 8 episodes long, while season 1 is 9 episodes. Now, we kind of knew about this because it originally was going to be like 17, 18 episodes, but they split it in half. But they're already shooting season 2. They're already doing that. So they are in it. I think, don't quote me, but I think they want to make this thing go all the way to like 3-4 seasons. So Daredevil is so far still the best thing for Marvel. Now, again, the Netflix stuff didn't count at first, but now that it does count, I think it is now officially the best thing that they've put out there. So you Loki, WandaVision, sit down. Okay. Daredevil's here. Daredevil is here. What else do we have? Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 will release in 2026. So you will have to wait a little bit for that to come out. They said here that the goal is to release a new season every year. That is something that Marvel would like to do. And I think that would come to the satisfaction to a lot of fans. I'm sure many of you that have probably watched The Boys are not The Boys, Invincible, are understanding of the frustration that comes along with having to sit and wait for a season 2-3 years in the mid. Like, that's not okay, right? Like, you don't want that. Animation does take a long time, but y'all gonna have to like speed something up. I don't know, crisscross some colors, do something. I don't know what y'all got to do. Draw in block form, but y'all gonna have to hurry that up. So that is a good sign that they at least are trying to get that out every year. And for those wondering, yes, I have finally actually watched Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I still don't like the animation, but I do like the story overall. The story is interesting. It feels like a what if type of story. That's what it all feels like. It's like, here are some minor changes. Here are some, different things, characters in slightly different situations. So it's cool. It's fine. Like, I liked it. I watched it. I was like, all right. I was entertained. It was all right. It was something to kind of like pass the time. It definitely was not something I was like, oh man, is the new episode out? I gotta hurry up and watch. Not like that. But to sit there and kind of binge through those 20-minute episodes, it was cool. It was cool. What else we got? Bad news. Shocker. Brad Winderbaum, aka Kevin Feige Jr., who's in charge of TV, he has confirmed that the Disney Plus Okoye series is canceled. Shout out to the homie Sharonda. This was on her interview. Sharonda Williams. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Pay or Wait. Go check out her channel. But Winterbaum said on her interview, I think fans of Okoye are going to be excited to see her come back, but I don't think it's going to be in a television show. I can't say where and when, but I think there's a lot to look forward to. Here's the thing that I have with Brad Winterbaum. Like I mentioned, this man is the number 2 in Marvel Studios. Bro, it's you and Kevin Feige. So what? And you are in charge of TV. What do you mean? I don't think it's going to be in a TV show. Do you want it in a TV show or not? You are the boss. What are we talking about here? Like, it's up to you. You have the final say on this thing. So it's wild to me that he's sitting here talking about this as if like he doesn't have the final say on who or what TV shows happen and when they happen. So anyway, Okoye, if y'all was looking for that Midnight Angels or whatever they was trying to do with that's over with. That ain't gonna happen. Of course we'll see Okoye again. I mean, duh, Denzel already spilled the beans that Black Panther 3 was happening, so we already know that. So yeah, but it's wild to me when the guy that's in charge is like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know. X-Men 97. Oh boy. Season 2 will release next year. Now, we probably should have gotten it this year. We probably should have got it this year, but whatever. They're taking their time, I guess. Let me tell you something. My excitement level has gone down. My excitement level has gone down. We know the back and forth drama that happened with Bo DeMayo. We know how that has been an issue with the creative process. Bo DeMayo, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he wrote the first 2 seasons. I don't think he did the third, but excuse me, he wrote the first 2 seasons for X-Men 97. First season, beautiful. That was a work of art. Fantastic. No notes. So good. And one of the ways you can tell, as we covered it, right? We covered every episode. If you got all them quotables, Ghetto Milky Way, what? The name is Gambit. Remember it. Like, come on, man. Like, had us in our feels, had us laughing, had us just like, that was classic. But what has me worried, of course, Bo DeMayo got fired as the showrunner. That's a whole nother drama. Feel free to go watch my old videos on that. They went and hired someone else. I think it was Michael Leslie. I think it was him. Or maybe it was somebody else. Don't quote me on that. But they went and hired someone else, another writer. And that writer is supposed to write season 3 for X-Men 97. However, I think I saw some reports that also said that this new writer was tinkering with the season 2 script. That right there, Michael Chauncey. Thank you so much, Michael Chauncey. That bothers me. And the reason why it bothers me is because Chauncey is the same one that gave us What If season 3. And What If season 3, to me, was a disaster. That was a poor showing for a show that I liked. I liked What If season 1. Didn't really care a lot, but season 2 was okay. It was cool. But season 3 was just bad. To me, it was objectively just bad. And the writing left so much more to be desired. The writing was bland. The writing was not interesting. Like it didn't get the people going. I didn't hear not one person online saying, oh man, this from What If season 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we kind of talk about like, oh, the Watcher here and there. But outside of that, That thing was dead in the water. So that's what you gonna bring? You gonna bring that milk of magnesia to that seasoned fried chicken that Bo DeMayo left us? Yikes. So I'm not looking forward to it. Now, if they didn't touch it, if they didn't touch season 2, then okay. Now, I'm really not looking forward to season 3. But if y'all left Bo DeMayo's script intact, I'm okay with this. And we'll only have to wait and see. But season 3, it already looks like it's a wrap. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. So I am very, very cautious about that. Anyway, we have some more updates for the MCU. A Punisher special is in the works at Marvel Studios. And yes, of course, Jon Bernthal will be returning, as he should. I mean, he's only been doing a great job with the Punisher series. And yes, people who don't watch things and stay up to date, I won't name no names. You should watch the Punisher series because, again, this is a direct continuation of the Netflix series. So please make sure you watch Punisher as well. And yes, we know Punisher does make a cameo or cameos in the Daredevil Born Again series. So, but it sounds like Punisher was so good in the Daredevil series that it inspired even more to happen. And that is Jon Bernthal is actually going to be co-writing the Punisher special for Marvel Studios. So y'all remember how they have those little specials, kind of like Werewolf by Night? Now we're going to have something similar like that to with the Punisher. So it's probably going to be a little standalone thing or whatever. The director from King Richard is going to do it. Brad Winderbaum said that he described it as a shotgun blast of a story, but also has all of the pathos and emotion. I don't know what he's talking about. Just tell me Punisher finna kill some folks and it's gonna be violent. That's all. Sir, what else are I don't think the only emotion people are looking for, I think, from Punisher is the same thing with Hulk. Rage. I just want to see this man be crazy. Because he is crazy. I just no. Wait. Like, that's all I'm here for. Okay, give me that little crazy and then put an AK in this man's hand and let him go crazy on the bad guys. Okay, now I'm being very clear. Make sure it's the bad guys. Don't let them just be out here, shooting up stuff. Because anyway, that's a whole nother political thing. Anyway, that's all I want to see from Punisher. Just go wild on the bad guys. That's all. So that should be interesting, I think, with a special. That could definitely go somewhere and do something with it. But we'll have to wait and see how they go about that. Let's see. We do have another X-Men update. And I believe this is also from Brad Winderbaum. You see how Brad, can I just say this again? Brad got all the info. You're not about to be Kevin Feige Jr. and act like you don't know everything that's going on. Okay? You know everything that's going on, sir. This man's out here giving us updates on the X-Men. Okay? So during this little interview run, Winderbaum, he was asked, what can you say about Marvel's live action plans for mutants on the television front? Okay, this TV, that's his lane. He said, I think anybody could say anything online and it hits the rumor mill and people get excited right now. We are still working on X-Men 97 season 2. It's coming together amazingly and the scripts for season 3 are insane. Yeah, boiled chicken. We'll see. That is certainly scratching the X-Men itch for me on television. Now, this is where he gets into the other stuff. And there is an X-Men feature in development right now. So that is the focus of X-Men currently. So if I'm not mistaken, That is the first official coming from Marvel acknowledgement that there's a live action or a feature, an X-Men feature. He didn't say live action, but they're not about to make a animated movie, so we can assume it's live action. We've already heard the reports that they were going to do that, but it seems like they're going to go ahead and make an X-Men movie. So that is something that we can look forward to. It looks like it is something that is happening at some point in the future. And I'm okay with that. It is I think that one is going to be written by Michael Leslie, I believe. I don't know. I could be wrong. Whatever. Either way, what do y'all think about all these MCU updates? Are there any shows that you're looking forward to? Are you sad about the Okoye thing not happening? What do you think about the Punisher, Daredevil, X-Men? How do you feel about those? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Mike, what you got? Bruh, don't do that. 007 on the PS5, that'd probably break the internet, and I'm here ready to crash too. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'll be first in line. I'll be first in line. I'll be like, pre-order, please. Yes, give me 2 just in case. I just want to back up because I want to preserve one of them, and I'm gonna play the other one. So give me 2. Let me buy the first one, and then let me preserve the other one. Because yes, that would be magic. A golden eye on like, it's insane to me that they have not jumped on that moneymaker already. It is insane. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But thank you, Mike. I appreciate you always, man. Jay, what you got? The thing about Gene Hackman is that his final movie role was unfortunately this bad comedy called Welcome to the Mooseport over 20 years ago. Was it? Oh, man. Well, hey, maybe he had to, pay them checks. Keep that health insurance. I get it, Jay, I wish Gene Hackman retired on a good note. Well, listen, living to 95, I think that's a good note. To live life that long, that's got to count for something. So, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Okay, we're gonna stay on the MCU bandwagon. Ugh. Let's talk about y'all movie, Cat 4. So, one thing that I was talking about before was with Captain America 4. I already gave my review for it. I already told y'all what I thought about it. I told y'all that I thought that the movie was, I thought Mackie did a good job. I don't think the movie did him justice. I also think that the movie politically choked. I think Marvel got real scared and they did not want to tackle the racial issue that literally was embedded in Sam's character in the comic books. I saw a lot of people trying to give me some heat, coming at me being like, but E-Man, don't you know they tackled race in the TV show? So, don't you know that people that watch the TV show, they might watch the movies, but people that watch the movies, they might not watch the TV show. So conveniently skipping over the racial stuff, you're not doing that other larger audience the service of understanding Sam's character by just glossing over the racial stuff. Not to mention, it wasn't even just the race stuff. Even the whole political stuff was not all that intriguing to me, but that's neither here nor there. What I tried to warn people about was I kept seeing, and I understand it's Black History Month, by the way. Happy Black History Month, even though a lot of outlets out there or a lot of companies don't want to say it. Happy Black History Month, even though today is the last day. I understand that because it's Black History Month, there's this sense of pride to try and really extol this movie, right? You really want to exalt this movie and really give it as much praise as possible. And I've seen it. I've seen a lot of the pro blurred channels being like, yes, Captain America made all this money in opening week. And yes, Captain America is like the third highest movie to do this and this. And I kept telling people, I need y'all to wait. I need y'all to slow down, because people was like, yes, take this to the haters. Yeah, all the people that was going to tank the movie, take this. And I said, y'all need to just wait. I'm not hating on the movie. I'm not crapping on the movie. I'm just saying, let's not go throwing them big old celebrations until all the numbers are in. That's all. Just wait until week 3, week 4, week 5. Let's see what the numbers look like, and then we can respond. We got the numbers. Captain America: Brave New World earns $28.3 million in the film's second domestic weekend. It was a 68% drop from its opening weekend. It's the third biggest drop for an MCU movie. Yikes. So let me see here, because let's see where it's at overall. Oh, Jesus. So I've told y'all this again. I saw people being like, oh yeah, stick it to the man. You know, Captain America made its money back in the first week. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, you know, like that's not a lot. I mean, that's good, but you have to look at the whole picture, because if you make your money back and you dip off right after, that's not a good sign. And again, if you're taking the time to make a movie, you've already put a lot of money into making the movie, then you put even more money into promoting the movie, which means making your money back is not enough. You need to make your money back, and then you need to make a profit, because you have to pay off your investors, and then you have to make even more money, so that way it was actually worth it. So usually the barometer is 2.5 times your budget. Okay, let's see what Cap is at right now. Globally, it's at almost $300 million. Almost $300 million. What was the budget? The budget was $180 million. It has only made 1.6 times. It hasn't even doubled its budget yet. Remember, I told you 2.5 times is a great sign. That's what they want, right? Black Panther, I think it cost like 100 million, 150 million. Nate Moore told Ryan Coogler, we're looking for 700 to 800 million. That was the investment. That was the goal. Imagine getting 180 million. You're hoping for 600 to 700 million, and you're only sitting at close to 3. And we just got done talking about how movie theaters, well, actually it's the studios, are taking movies out of theaters even faster with the 17 or 30-day release window. So how is Cap 4 going to have the time to make its money back? And just because it drops on streaming and it's number 1 on streaming, that doesn't mean anything. That might mean people was like, yeah, I wasn't going to pay for that. I was going to wait till I could watch it in the background while I play on my phone. So not good news for Cap, but even worse news happened, because at a local theater, a huge accident happened with the Captain America viewing. And it says here, during a show, the theater's ceiling collapsed onto the audience, according to local officials. The fire department, they had to respond. They was like, nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. But They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do this. Hold on. Let me make it bigger for y'all. Fire department responded at about 8 p.m., finding 2 people in attendance. Shout out to the fact that nobody got hurt. But y'all only found 2 people watching this movie? I think it's time to move on. We got to move on. It's it's not a good sign. Like I don't even know why they reported that. What do y'all think about what's going on with Cat 4? Do you think that was this expected? Have you seen the movie yet? Have you seen it? Were you going to be number 3 to go watch it? I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Yikes. Puma, what you got? Did you hear anything about Necroscope? I know Morgan Freeman has the rights. I would watch it on the big screen. I don't even know what Necroscope is, to be honest with you. So, sorry. I'm woefully uninformed about that. So, I have not heard anything about it. But thank you for that. Oh man, Jesus. Thank you. It has been a long time since I said thank you. So, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through on all the lives, commenting. Appreciate you on the replay videos, also commenting. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate it. Nelson, showing Red Hulk early spoiled the movie. Yeah, it did. But here's the problem. What else was you going to show? What else did they have? What else? What was there? You know, I mean, the marketing, like I said in my first tweet, I was like, I don't know if the marketing spoiled it by showing too much Red Hulk or if the movie had nothing else to give. Because here's the thing. Would anyone have gone to see this if Harrison Ford was not in it and if Red Hulk was not in it? Do we even think it would have gotten close to this 300 million? Because I'm more than positive that the Red Hulk was the best thing that they had to put out there to get butts in seats, any butts in seats. What they should have done, I think, even though we knew a Red Hulk was there, they should have just never showed him. That first tease we got where the shield fell to the ground right next to the Red Hulk's, foot or whatever, that should have been it. That should have been the only thing we seen. That's it. But marketing, that's marketing for you. Speaking of which, thank you for that, Nelson. I appreciate you. We're gonna kind of stay on that, and let's talk about Deadpool versus Feige real quick, because as we've been talking about with Cat 4 is struggling. It is struggling. It is not doing very well in theaters right now. And because of that, this is making some people question Marvel. Now, for the record, Marvel themselves, Bob Iger, not so much Bob Iger, but Kevin Feige, Louis Esposito, they have both come out on record and said, yes, we have dropped the ball. Yes, Phase 4 was a miss. They know this. They've acknowledged it. I don't think that right there is exactly what you would want from executives. That's a complete 180 from what Sony did with the gaslit Craven and Morbius and Madam Web nonsense. They didn't want to own up to the fact that the movies were just bad. the former CEO chairperson was all like, nah, it was the media's fault. Like we made the movie, to make it bad. So, yes, anybody can admit that phase 4 and a little bit of phase 5 has been pretty weak, right? Now, with that said, you have Captain America 4 losing some momentum in the box office. And, it says here that the movie may still struggle to make much of a profit by the end of its run. That's unfortunate. And this is very disappointing, especially after Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I told y'all, and I know I told y'all this, Deadpool and Wolverine was the only MCU movie I was excited for until Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. That was the only one I was looking forward to. Fantastic Four, maybe. Thunderbolts, maybe. Captain America 4, I don't know, right? So, and I'm not saying that those movies are bad. I'm just saying I don't know if those movies are going to blow me away. I knew Deadpool and Wolverine was going to be solid. I trust Ryan Reynolds, trust Hugh Jackman. They understand the franchise. I had no doubts with that. So I knew that it was going to be a bump in the road, and it was going to be a little bumpier after Deadpool and Wolverine. So if anybody had expectations that Marvel was back after that, I was like, I don't know. Wait until after Doomsday and after Avengers, and we'll see. But y'all should have seen this coming. Anyway, it says here that one man believes it's time for Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige to step away and give someone else a chance to steer the ship, and that is Deadpool co-creator Rob Liefeld. He said, get Feige off the mound. He's spent. Yikes. So this is, of course, a baseball reference for those of you that are sports challenged. He is basically saying, hey, Kevin Feige is that pitcher. His arm is tired. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. So let's give some context. We talked about this a week or two ago about how Rob Liefeld, co-creator of Deadpool, felt very slighted. He felt very disrespected by Kevin Feige and Marvel. Kevin Feige didn't wave to him. Marvel played him. They didn't let his family go to the after party. And they took some pictures and they never posted it. Like he just did not feel included, right? And I'm not saying he's wrong. Like, listen, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Cool, whatever. It is what it is. However, I do think he's out of his depths right now. Yes, I agree with some of the things that Rob has said in the past. He has talked about how Kevin Feige does not basically respect comic book creators in the creative process when it comes to the movies. I'm paraphrasing. And I think to a degree that is true, right? If you think about the first 3 phases of Marvel, which were usually considered as probably being some of the better ones, there was more involvement of comic writers that were involved in the creative process. So we had things that might not have been comic accurate, but they felt more comic booky, right? But at the same time, listen, Kevin Feige is not a comic book like writer. He's a movie guy, right? This is the guy that learned under Richard Donner, with Superman. This is the guy that was a producer with Jeff Johns now Jeff Johns is a comic book guy, but Kevin Feige was out there helping with the production of the X-Men movies over at Fox. He is a movie maker, and even though ironically he runs Marvel Comics, that's not his primary focus. So for him, and I've told y'all this too, just because you read it in the comics doesn't mean it will always translate 100% into movies, right? Sometimes you have to change some things up. Comic fans, man, we've been like steep into the comics for so long. We knew about the multiverse and stuff like that since the 80s. I want to say 80s, 90s. They've been talking about the multiverse, you know. They only just introduced that like in the 2020s. So you got to think about that gap. So Kevin Feige, he's like, yo, I'm not, I'm not saying he said this, but if you think about it, I told y'all, they're not making movies for you comic fans. Okay. Yes, they like the comic fans. Yes, they will acknowledge the comic fans, but they're not making movies for the comic fans. Okay. The comic fans are a very small population compared to the global movie audience, right? So they would much rather do traditional Hollywood things to make a Hollywood movie than to give you something 100% straight from the comics. A lot of y'all who don't like Nate Moore, he communicated that when he was, he would direct some of the TV or movie directors and be like, don't read the comics. Why is that? They don't want their people to read the comics, which I think is partially a mistake, because they want them to come in with a fresh perspective and to entertain TV watchers and moviegoers. In other words, peoples that probably don't read comics. They need to make sure that the average person that's never read a comic entertains themselves with this. Because once again, and here's the dirty little secret that nobody really wants to admit, if you're a comic fan, you're showing up anyway. I don't care how much you hate this or hate the direction of that, you're still going to watch. Because a lot of people, even in this culture, will hate watch something just because they're attached to it. So they know that comic fan, y'all going to show up anyway. They trying to get the rest of them 95% of people that gets their movies to like the hundreds of millions to billions. That's the reality that we're in. So with all of that said, Rob Liefeld, please stop. You're wrong here. You don't get rid of Kevin Feige because he's spent. That's like saying, hey, you know what? Michael Jordan seems a little tired. Take him out the game. Sir, you're fired. Okay? If Michael Jordan has the flu, you still let Michael Jordan cook. Because he might just win you, he might drop 40-something points and win you a playoff game and maybe a ship. Right now, as a producer, that's what Kevin Feige is. Like him or not, agree with his direction or not, you cannot take away the fact that this man is literally the most prolific producer in Hollywood right now. Why? Because nobody else has made a cinematic universe with 30 plus movies and now TV shows under his regime to earn billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars. No one else has done that. So the question for Rob is, if you want him off the mount, who the hell you going to put in there? Who are you putting in there? Huh? You want Michael to sit for who? BJ Armstrong? Who? What are we talking? You going to take Giannis's little brother? Like, who are you talking about that's going to replace the best producer that can do this? We already saw DC tried to do this. DC, literally, David Zaslav was like, man, we need to find a Kevin Feige. He didn't say, oh, we need a great producer. He said, we need a Kevin Feige. That's the bar that's been set. And they still couldn't replace Kevin Feige. They went ahead and got two people. They had to get James Gunn and Peter Safran just to try to do and replicate what Kevin Feige, one person, has done. So, again, sorry, Rob, but you're completely off with this. I disagree respectfully. And I would say this, and I've said this before. You will know if Kevin Feige no longer has it. You will know if it's time for him to retire after what they do with Secret Wars. Whatever happens after Secret Wars, Black Panther 3, X-Men, that's when we're supposed to really get this X-Men movie. That is going to be the real tipping point of whether the MCU can recover or not. I've told y'all this before. In the first couple of phases, they were playing with their hands behind their back. They didn't have all their characters, couldn't do everything they wanted. They got 80 to 90% of all their characters back now. They got their heavy hitters, and they got at least the ability to play around with Spider-Man, and there's the possibility of a Hulk movie. If you fail as Marvel Studios with a Spider-Man movie, a Hulk movie, and an X-Men movie, you're done. That's when you fire Kevin Feige. If you can't get Hulk, Spider-Man, or X-Men right, you're fired. There's no coming back. Fantastic Four ain't finna save you. A couple Thunderbolts ain't finna save you. Okay? If you can't hit with them big time franchise players, come on now. So listen, before y'all start calling for Kevin Feige to retire, let this man cook with his best A-team lineup. If he fails with that, he's out of here. If not, sit back and enjoy. We're literally in the middle of a historic run. Okay? So anyway, I completely disagree with Rob. The fact that he's trying to use Captain America's performance as a way to determine whether Kevin Feige has it or not, sir, please. Cap wasn't saving nobody. Cap barely saved himself. Wakanda saved Cap. Okay? Let's be honest. Cap didn't save nothing. Okay? Wakanda saved Cap. Let's just keep it real. Those who know, you know. Anyway, what do y'all think about Rob Liefeld's comments? Do you agree with him? Maybe you agree. Maybe you do think that it's time for Kevin Feige to step down, or maybe you don't. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Michael, that's literally a DBZ meme. Goku fighting Vegeta and say, let's fight somewhere empty, then go to a Cap for empty theater. I was actually thinking about that when I thought about the two people. Goku and Vegeta were like the ones I've seen the meme, so that is I was thinking the same thing, so I'm with you on that. Nelson, what you got? I bet Feige will be promoting Fantastic Four. Oh yeah, they listen. It's not for me. I'm not hating on Fantastic Four. It doesn't get me up in the morning. They love, when I say they, I mean Marvel. Internally, they love Fantastic Four. They think Fantastic Four is the business. Okay, like the way DC loves Superman, that's the way Marvel loves Fantastic Four. So there's a whole lot of optimism and hope with it. I think the movie will be fine. Like, I think it'll be good based off of the trailer and everything, but yeah, they have more hope in it than I do. AJ, what you got? I saw it. I think you mean Cap 4. It was bad. Not Thor bad, not Marvel's bad. Oh yeah, been a while. Didn't catch a live. God bless everyone. Thank you so much for that, AJ. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was bad, but it was all right. Yeah, it was all right. All right. Let's stick to Marvel for this. So I've mentioned this a couple times, and a lot of people have talked about this, whether it was recast T'Challa or just the MCU in general with, the fake superhero fatigue or whatever. But can Marvel reboot? Will Marvel reboot? Is that even possible? There's always been the suspicion that Avengers Secret Wars is going to be a soft reboot for Marvel. Now, again, if you've read the comics, then you understand and know that for Secret Wars, there is a bit of a reset that happens. right? Obviously this ties into Fantastic Four, and so on and so forth, but it's possible. So in other words, there are a lot of pieces in place where they could do a reset, right? If they wanted to stay consistent with the comics. So finally, someone has actually asked the question about this. And once again, we back at it. Kevin Feige Jr., Brad Winderbaum, he's the one that's answering these questions. This is why I keep saying this man knows stuff. I don't know why he keep acting like he don't know stuff, but he does come in and talk about this. And he was asked about the possibility of the soft reboot or the MCU reboot after Secret Wars. And he says, you can't really fully reboot anything. It's a very difficult thing to do, a living, breathing, fictional universe, to just start from scratch because of all the fan investment and love for the stories that have come so far. Sir, allow me to say unequivocally that is cap. Okay? And I don't mean America. That is cap. By your own admission, this is a living, breathing, fictional universe. When you're dealing with fiction, you are literally dealing with endless routes and possibilities. If you want to reboot, you can do it. You know how we know? Because we've seen it happen in the comics. The comics reboot literally all the time. Every single time. Okay? The comics, all they do is reboot. They've shown you multiple ways how to reboot. The comics have done hard reboots where they like, that never happened. And they do soft reboots and they be like, remember when that happened? Not really, but yeah, y'all remember. Like, stop it. Stop it. Now, here's the thing. You should be, and maybe he just doesn't want to spoil it. If that's the case, fine. Okay, fine. Play dumb. But don't gaslight me by sitting here saying this fictional thing, we can't reboot it. Yes, the hell you can. You can't reboot factual historical things. That's revisionist history, but that's not what we're talking about. The fan investment that you're concerned about. And I think that's a valid point, right? You don't want to sit here and be like, oh man, Thanos never got rid of, half of the population. Oh man, Tony Stark never said, I am Iron Man. I understand. You want to preserve those memories moving forward. But guess what? A soft reboot also helps you fix a lot of issues that we don't want to remember. Soft reboot will make us forget immediately Thor 4 and Thor 1 and Thor 2. A soft reboot will make us immediately forget Eternals. A soft reboot will make us forget the Marvels. Like, listen, all these movies that fell completely flat or short, a soft reboot would be a great way to undo those things. Or, I don't know, killing off a character that was like the first black character in all of the MCU, and maybe you just want to go ahead and start over. That'll be a good thing that our soft reboot could fix. Or how about fumbling the entire phase of a bag? Because I don't know why Kevin Feige thought this was a good idea. A soft reboot could make you fix the mistake of making Secret Invasion a TV series and not a whole phase. What were y'all thinking? It still does not make sense to me that you would sit here and take something that was a phase in the comics, like it was a whole saga in the comics, and you condense it to a 5-6 episode boo-boo TV series? Are you serious? Could y'all imagine if we was watching Captain America 4 and behind the whole conspiracy of everything, we find out that the president was actually a Skrull? What if you found out that in Thunderbolts, the only reason why Sentry becomes the way he is because Skrulls were experimenting on super soldiers? I'm just saying, like, y'all could have made all these other movies and sprinkled in Skrulls all throughout, just like the comics did. And that could be and the whole time, guess what we would have been doing? Because remember, you were talking about fan investment. How many times will we be going into a movie? Hey, y'all, who's the Skrull here? You don't think we would all be sitting here excited, trying to figure out where the Skrull is, who's going to turn out to be the Skrull, what's the twist? That would get the people going. So you mean to tell me y'all can't do it's too hard to do a soft reboot? Man, stop it. Y'all better have somebody else snap a finger and change that all up. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. So I'm not buying this whole like it's too difficult, bro. You're working in fiction. Like that's the one thing I would, you know. And listen, I've had 2 opportunities, and maybe I've been screwing myself. I don't know. Maybe I've been messing myself up. I've had 2 opportunities to interview Brad Winderbaum. I've met him in person. Okay. I did meet him in person at an award show a couple years ago. Very nice guy. I'm not even trying to throw him under the bus. But the 2 times I was supposed to interview him, he happened to be unavailable. Because all I know is if y'all don't let me interview him. Listen, y'all better keep giving them softball interviews that y'all giving to him. Because you know, if I'm like, sir, what do you it's fiction. How is anything with fiction difficult? You have all the leeway in the world. Don't let me, y'all, boy, they don't want me to interview him. That's all. It must be that. It must be. Anyway, guys, what do you think about Brad Winderbaum, Kevin Feige Jr.? What do y'all? Maybe I shouldn't call him Kevin Feige Jr. Maybe that'd be the problem. I don't know. What do y'all think about this difficulty of rebooting after Secret Wars? Is this really so hard? Do you think that maybe they're in a bind? Maybe you agree with him. Maybe you think that, yeah, you don't want to lose all that stuff that was built up and just start all over. Maybe you do think Marvel should start all over. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Excuse me. Let's see. All right. We got... Okay. Now we will shift over. Do we want to do that? Yeah, we can do that. Let's do DC. Let's move over to DC. So as we know, James Gunn, Peter Safran, they are the new co-heads of DC Studios. They take care of everything from the animation, movies to TV. James Gunn deals with all the creative stuff. Peter Safran, he's the business guy, right? He takes care of all the nuts and bolts and day-to-day stuff with the deals and negotiations and all that stuff. So James Gunn had a press event of some sort, which mysteriously, I never know when those things are happening. It seems to be the same specific group of people that get to interview over at DC. I don't know why that is. Anyway, happy Black History Month, by the way. So he gave an interview where a whole lot of updates have come out about what we can expect from the DCU coming up. So I wanted to kind of cover a couple of those things for y'all, and we can talk about what we can expect from the DCU. Now, one thing that I think this is what Safran said. No, James Gunn. He says, we don't want these characters to die out. We want to bring new stories and new life. We want to introduce these characters to new generations, and I think we're doing that slowly but surely. Now, I wanted to just highlight this for a moment because this is exactly what I've been talking about when I talk about recasting. Because for the people that try to demonize the notion of recasting being evil or disrespectful or whatever, no, it has not. No, it is not. And what he just said is exactly why characters get recast. We don't want these characters to die out. How do characters not die out? You know how? By recasting them, by putting them on the screen, by showing them to you in movies, by showing the characters on TV, by putting them in animation, by putting them in comic books. That's how characters don't die out. You don't stop hearing about a character until you stop seeing them. I mean, just a quick example. How many of y'all are old enough to remember Mighty Max? I love Mighty Max, the cartoon. Mighty Max was so dope to me. I have not seen Mighty Max since the 90s. Some of y'all that are under the age of 30 probably don't even know who Mighty Max is. You probably never even seen the red hat with the time travel and the owl and is, you know, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know about Mighty Max. Boy, Mighty Max was my joint. But you would never know. No, not Mighty Mouse. Mighty Max. Okay? I'm talking about Max. You would never know because it's never been recast. It's never gotten a movie. It's never gotten a new animated series. It doesn't exist. Hold on. Yeah, see? I'm not making this up. I know what I'm talking about. Mighty Max, 1993. Y'all ain't watched this? This was a horror. This was a horror. I didn't even know this was a horror. It was kind of scary at the last season. But this show was on point. Okay? I used to love this show back in the day. But again, you would never know because it's never been recast. It's never been broadcast. It's never been brought back. I love this show, man. I really did as a kid. Anyway, let me get back to the point. So I love the fact that James Gunn understands that to keep characters from dying, you have to keep putting them on the screen. You got to keep telling their stories. Y'all be thinking I make this stuff up. I do not. I do not. Anyway, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, it's halfway through production in London. The Lanterns, the HBO series, has begun shooting in Los Angeles last week. Matter of fact, I believe we actually got a first look. Yes, we did. So we got a first look here of the Lanterns. And this is with Aaron Pierre. And I forget the other guy's name. My bad. Kyle something. I forget. It's Kyle Chandler. And it says the Lanterns will explore who these guys are when they're on the job and when they're out of uniform. Okay, I don't know what that means. Whatever. It's designed to be accessible for people who don't know the mythology, but hopefully really satisfying for people that know it backwards and forwards. That's actually, I like that. I do like that. And this is your first look of them right there. I'm not going to get into the whole colorism thing. I already went into that, but here you go. That is Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan for you right there. So Clayface is going to be a body horror thriller that will shoot this summer for a fall of 2026 release. Sergeant Rock, which I have no idea what that is, but it's some sort of period war movie. Daniel Craig was supposed to, aka the former James Bond, he was supposed to go ahead and do it, but I think he dropped out. But they are still looking for a star. There is going to be an animated movie titled The Dynamic Duo. That I believe is the one about Dick Grayson and Red Hood. So we will supposedly still get that. That's going to be like their whole journey. Jason Todd. Now from Peter Safran, he said here, we've unified the brand. We've greenlit 5 theatrical films, made 3 live action series, and are producing 5 animated series. One of them is My Adventures with Green Lantern, and another one called Starfire. Starfire, in case you did not know, is the girl from Teen Titans. But that sounds pretty interesting. Like, it's very ambitious. If My Adventures with Green Lantern, which by the way, I think that takes from what I saw online, I think that actually follows the female Green Lantern. What is her name? I think it's like Jessica. I think it is. Anyway, I hope it's in the same vein of My Adventures with Superman. And just a real quick note, if you haven't been watching My Adventures with Superman, check it out. I do. Jessica Cruz, thank you so much. At least I got one name right. Jessica Cruz is the Green Lantern for that series. But My Adventures with Superman, very well produced. I enjoy it. Solid show. So if they follow that same energy, that same vibe, I think that it'll be a fun show too. The Starfire, I'm a little curious about. Like, I know she's fun on Teen Titans, but I don't know if a whole series needs to go to her. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best way to go, but we'll see. It says here that we remain steadfast that each of these projects works as a standalone project, so you can see Superman, you can watch Lanterns without having to see them both. Although, if you can, there will be special things in there for people who have seen both. Now that I like. I think that is the secret sauce that Marvel used to have, and Marvel kind of lost it along the way, right? So in the past, you could watch an Iron Man movie. You could watch the Thor movie. Ugh. You could watch Captain America. And they did not feel like you had to watch the other films in order to enjoy them. But now, moving forward, it's kind of like, oh, you didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier? Well, how are you going to enjoy Captain America Brave New World? Oh, you didn't watch WandaVision? How are you going to enjoy Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like the idea that, yes, we're going to make these movies standalone. We'll put some things in there for people to like them, but no, you don't have to watch everything. No, you don't have to watch the TV series. You could just go ahead and watch the movies and they'll take care of themselves. That is good planning. Now, you still got to execute. You still got to make them good, but I do like that so far. James, he gonna be saying some good stuff, okay? Because I like this too. We are not going to greenlight or put anything into production until we are happy with the script. My goodness, this man said this before and he just reiterated it again. I don't care what he says. Shots fired, Marvel. Shots fired. How's that Armor Wars coming along? That y'all announced. Y'all announced that. How's that Blade coming along? That y'all announced. Didn't nobody sit here and say, excuse me, where's the Blade movie? Hey, where's the Armor Wars? Hey, y'all announced that. Y'all didn't have a script. Y'all didn't have a director. You didn't have nothing except a phone call from Mahershala Ali. That's all y'all had. So, shout out to James Gunn, because that is the better approach. Why are you even talking about a movie? Why are you even talking about a character if you don't have a finished script in hand that you like? That sounds like common sense to me. That's like sitting here talking about a job that you haven't even applied for, that they haven't interviewed you for, that you ain't even get hired for. You ain't got that job. You do not have that job. Now, once you sign the HR paperwork, you fill out that W-9, you know what I'm saying? You get past your probationary period. Now you got the job. Now you can talk about it. Get out of here. Anyway, I like the fact that he reiterated that. We ain't talking about nothing unless we got something. I like that. So they talk about here, DC has a goal to release 7 projects a year. Wow. 2 live action films, in a year. One animated film, which I'm always here for, 2 live action TV shows, and 2 animated series. Y'all cooking with grease. That is the plan set for the next 6 years. Listen, Marvel not even giving y'all that right now. Marvel be lucky if they can give you a half good movie and maybe 1 or 2 TV series in a year. But if this is what y'all want to do, I'm not going to hold y'all back. All I can hope for is that y'all are not biting off too much that you can't chew. Like, don't do too much now. I'm here for it because I like the DC animated. That has a great legacy. I'm here and I'm interested in the TV series. I like Peacemaker. That was cool to me. But y'all trying to do all that and movies and animated? Okay. Listen, we might be on the cusp of a DC revolution. Because y'all know for the past 15 years, maybe longer, I don't know, DC been lacking. Not on animated, but they've been lacking everywhere else. This might be the time where the tide shift. If y'all could deliver that level of quantity that long, and if the quality matches, we gonna be feasting for 6 years. We'll see. Let's see, what else did they say here? It says, while they didn't elaborate, Gunn and Safran, they did say that they had a 6-year plan that would include an Avengers Endgame style culmination. Okay. Listen, from what it sounds like to me, y'all about to sprinkle a little something here with the animated, do a little something with the live action series, do your thing with the movies, and then you gonna give us a culmination event? That sounds like a Justice League to me. Your Justice League movies should be Avengers. And that can be Darkseid, that can be Anti-Monitor, that can be Brainiac. I mean, okay. I'm here for it. So let's see what you got. Because if you can do all of this in only 6 years, I know this is saying a lot, but there's a possibility y'all might overtake Marvel. Ooh. That's going to be hard because in the next 2-3 years, Marvel is coming out with their heavy hitters too. Marvel's coming out with Doomsday, Secret Wars, maybe a Hulk movie, Spider-Man, and an X-Men movie. So all I know is, on paper, as nerds, we might be feasting. And I don't want to hear one word about comic book movie fatigue, because it sounds like we about to be feasting for a minute. If they can hold up with this. So we'll see. Says here, let's see, we've taken a couple cracks at it, but they still have not been able to get past Waller. That's the Viola Davis TV show. Says here that it's been a bumpy road. There was a Booster Gold TV series. I guess the writer fell out of love with that. The Authority, that hasn't been a priority, even though James Gunn did announce that. He did talk about that one. Swamp Thing, I guess that's not happening. He said, we kind of cooled out on that. So Swamp Thing ain't really going nowhere. Let's get into it. Batman. Let's talk about Batman. He says, we're developing the Brave and the Bold script right now, and Andy Muschietti who is the Flash director, he'll be the first one to see it. Okay, so but at the same time, it says Safran was strongly implying that Andy Muschietti is not involved in the project's development. Thank you. How many times have we talked about this? How many times have I told y'all about how I don't want Andy Muschietti, the guy who was hit or miss with the It movies, hit or miss with his movie Mama, and then a big miss with The Flash. That is not the guy that you want to do Batman Brave and the Bold. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The biggest test for DC and James Gunn is not Superman. It is Batman. Batman is your most profitable IP character in all of DC. Batman is the one that's going to feed y'all and put money in the bank. If you go put the guy that flopped the Flash on Batman, I have to question your decision making as an executive. So now, and I told y'all, I don't care how they do it. Make up whatever excuse you want. But Andy got to go. Uh-oh, I got another movie I got to make. Uh-oh, I got to go do this It series on HBO. I don't care. Scheduling conflict, creative differences, make up whatever excuse you want. Oh yeah, we gonna give you the script to look at. That fine. I don't care. Let him look at the script. Don't take none of his advice. Because based off of the interviews that we've seen from Andy in the past, a lot of his advice are the things that made it to the Flash that clearly was not a good idea. Give him the script, but just leave it at that. So I love the fact that that's the case. James Gunn goes on to say, everybody knows I love Batman and it's important to me. So I'm working very closely with the writer on Brave and the Bold, but the writer's name was not revealed. Ooh, they playing close to the chest with that. And you know what? I'm okay with that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't announce the writer because we've already seen how quickly scripts can change. We know that, like, man, one day this is a writer, one day, it's somebody else. The only thing I'd be a little concerned about is if James Gunn was like, you know what, I'm going to be like Thanos and I'm going to do it myself. That's the only thing. I like James Gunn to do Superman. I think that is in his lane. I would be very cautious and a little wary if he decided to jump in to write and direct Batman. I just don't personally think that that is his forte. So I do think James is probably secretly writing this. I wouldn't be surprised. But think of it like this. This is also your make and break. If Batman don't work, you think people going to show up for Supergirl? If Batman don't work, you think people going to show up for Swamp Thing? The Authority? They're not going to care. They're not going to care what you're doing. So you got to get it right. So I can also see James Gunn being like, hey, man, this is my last. If I don't do this, they might find somebody else. I don't know. Maybe they'll go get Rob Liefeld. I don't know. It says here that Gunn also poured cold water on the Robert Pattinson being Batman rumor. He said that there was no serious conversation about the actor continuing his role into the broader DCU rather than staying in the separate universe of Reeves' world. Thank you. Good. We do not need Robert Pattinson's Batman mingling and intertwining in the DCU. Leave him over there. Leave him in the Elseworld with Penguin. Let Matt Reeves cook, do whatever he want to do in that sandbox. Stop. Okay, just stop. He does not make sense for the DCU. We already saw Superman is going to be dealing with some bowl cut Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific and monsters and all that. That does not make sense for the Robert Pattinson Batman, who is supremely grounded, very gritty, very, authentic. Like, that's not, no. We're not doing all that fantastical Justice League friends stuff with it. No. Go find another Batman. So I'm glad that he confirmed, for the most part, that that's not happening. Now for the Penguin, there seems to be no plan for a follow-up for season 2. When asked by a second season, Peter Safran plainly said, "We don't know. There are a lot of moving pieces, probably most importantly, Colin Farrell himself." So I've already said that I don't think we should have a Penguin season 2. I'm very mad because I don't remember where I made that clip where I pitched my idea for what the second season should be. I did tell y'all it should have been another villain, but I do not believe that they should do a second season. But I'm also dumb. Okay, I'm dumb because I was the one that did not believe in the Penguin to begin with, and Matt Reeves proved me so wrong because that show was fantastic. So if he wants to do it, great. I don't think we need to. I think season 2 is too much. You're trying to milk that cow a little too much, but it is what it is. Oh, and by the way, Colin Farrell did weigh in on this. We do have a statement from him about what's up with season 2, and he says, "I don't want it. I don't not want it." Well, we all left it in the ring in those 8 hours. I would hate to, just because of a quote unquote success, have to go again and for it to be diluted, for it to be a diluted version of what people seem to feel it is majoritively. So I'm in no rush. I have no deep desire to do it. Sure, if they think of something that works in conjunction as a parallel to Matt Reeves' cinematic universe and it's a good idea, I'm open to it, but it's not something concerning me. Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Don't force it. Don't do that. Don't go chasing the ratings. Don't go. Sometimes when something is great, it's okay to leave it alone. We don't need another Sopranos, right? The Wire, as fantastic as it is, it's probably best to leave that alone. Breaking Bad, I don't need a season 6. It ended the way it ended, and it was great. So, yes, Penguin, as fantastic as that was, we're good. We're good, you know? And 9 times out of 10, this man don't want to be in that makeup chair no more. I wish he would just say that. Like, just say, I don't want to be in the chair for no 10 hours in a day with all that makeup. I'm good. They don't listen, unless they cut that check. A lot of people will do different things, but that's probably why he really is not going to do it. So we have a couple other updates. James Gunn did confirm that a Teen Titans movie is in the works. The same one who is the same writer for Supergirl is actually going to be doing this. So that's the thing. If you're going to do a Starfire story, I'm like, can we first get Teen Titans? Like, let me know if we even like Starfire, because there are different versions of Starfire that maybe you like, maybe you don't like. And honestly, every version I've seen has always been her in relation to the Teen Titans. So I don't know if I really need a TV show about her just yet. First of all, who y'all casting? Okay, hold on. Let me talk to y'all for a second. Let me talk to you a second. For those of you familiar with Starfire, there are a couple of things that you should understand. One of the biggest draws of Starfire is her culture. Okay, she's an alien, right? But she's a very open alien. They don't have our same customs. I mean, they're death by snoo. You don't die. Okay. You don't die. They got the snoo without the dying. Okay. Let's just put it like that. And listen, that boy Nightwing, Dick Grayson, he know about that. So all I'm saying is, if you're gonna do Starfire, who y'all finna cast? Who? You know, it's just like when the party gonna be there, and you be like, yo, who all gonna be there? Who y'all finna cast? Because whoever y'all cast, that's probably gonna make or break if this TV series is gonna work. Okay, because you saw how we was just talking about what was that, Lara Croft, and they went and got Sansa from Game of Thrones. Ain't nobody tuning in for Sansa to play Lara Croft after Angelina Jolie gave us that. Hell no, ain't nobody watching that. What? So who y'all finna put in that role? That's the real question. Okay, that's all. Because everything else, and what's that rating gonna be? Is it gonna be PG-13? Starfire gonna be rated R? I promise y'all, if DC comes out and says we got a Starfire TV series and it's TVMA, I'm not saying we will cover it, but this will be watched. This will be watched. Okay? This is going to be watched. Because some people are not going to mind this orange redhead lady alien on TV. Just saying. Okay? So, look. DC, the ball is in your court. I just told you all the pieces you need. TVMA, and who gonna be that cast? Who are you casting in that role? That is the that's all you need. Make sure y'all don't fumble that, please. I think that's it for that's it. All right, so guys, what do you think about all these updates for the DCU? How do you feel about what James Gunn and Peter Safran had to say? Does this give you more confidence in the upcoming DCU? They talking about they about to hit y'all up for the next 6 years with TV, animation, and movies, so y'all get sick of them. How do you feel? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. I always love it when new people come on to the stream. They're like, what is wrong with him? What is this guy talking? What is he saying? Let's see, Antoine, what you got? I think Starfire could be interesting, but a Raven series would be better. Yes. You know, what does she be saying? Something Zinthos. You know, I can find something Zinthos. You know, yes. Give me some dark magic. You know, her story with her daddy, you know, Trigon. What? Are you kidding me? And her origin story about how she really wasn't like all that dark, but she was actually coming. Yo, great idea. Antoine, great. Yes. Yeah. First of all, I still need to know who they're going to cast for Starfire first. Second, then yes, I would like to see a Raven TV series. Now, here's the other thing. I'll throw one at you. Because she's been typecast like this anyway, Jenna Ortega for Raven? I mean, that's all the girl wanted to play Lydia in Beetlejuice. She want to play you know, Wednesday in the Addams Family. Could she work as Raven? Maybe. I'm just saying, because that's kind of that name recognition. I could see them putting that for a TV show since it worked for Netflix. I could see them maybe making that work. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But great idea. Yes, I would totally be on board for a Raven TV show, prequel, whatever. I think that'd be great. To be fair, I'd be down for a Cyborg one too. I'd be cool for a Cyborg TV show if they wanted to do that. That could work for me. What you got? Running on fumes. Jan, thank you so much. Running on fumes this week, man. We're going through it in DC right now. Work-wise. Are you a federal worker? I hope not, bro. No, the federal workers going through it. But that shirt is fire. Thank you so much. And can we get a Ramel Ross directed Batman? Wait. Hold on. Is that who I think it is? So I have met Ramel and I've talked to him. I've interviewed him. And I'm glad you reminded me because he came out with this movie recently called Nickel Boys. And it's a movie that has been getting some awards. It's been making some rounds. It is my fault. I have not posted my interview with him. So I should post that. I need to post that. I did this thing like months ago and I just completely forgot. I would respectfully disagree about putting him on a Batman movie. If I had to give an alternative and it's not DC, I think he would probably be interesting if he did a Brother Voodoo movie. Because the way Ramel works is he comes from a documentary perspective, but if you watch the movie Nickel Boys, you can kind of see that like he really likes to take creative license. I don't think that would work for Batman. But if you give him a black character like Brother Voodoo and you allow him to just go ahead and just do his creative stuff, I think he would kill in that instead. So I'm gonna say no to Batman, but I do like the trajectory for that brother. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. Talked to him a couple times, met him on 2 different occasions, actually. I think he almost remembered me, maybe. I don't know. Very cool guy, though. JN. And yes, Gunn, we need that Static Shock movie. Listen, I feel like this is one of the other reasons why I don't think I'll ever be able to interview James Gunn. It's just certain people I just don't think for whatever reason, powers that be, culture, whatever you want to call it. But the fact that that's not a question, I think is telling because of who's in the room, or better yet, who's not in the room. Because y'all better believe if I ever run across James Gunn, that will be the first question I ask. That will be it. Now, I know that I said that somebody's watching and they'll probably go do it for me. Fine, whatever. But it's a shame. It's a shame that that very low bar has not been met yet. Anyway, Mike, what you got? I definitely can't believe you went there, but I'd be right there for my damn self. You talk about that Starfire. I know you are. Listen, I'm one of y'all. Okay. Listen, y'all think we meet up like this for no reason? Okay. We not all that different. Okay. We here for a purpose. We are birds of a feather. All right. I know what you're gonna watch. Shoot, because I'm gonna watch it too. Thank you, sir. Chris, what you got? Thanks for recommending Paradise. Yes, show is fire. Do you think they're going to Day of the Jackal? Sterling K. Brown, no spoiler. Have you got into the medical show The Pit? And happy Black History Month. Thank you for that. I am still pissed that we have not covered Paradise, but we will. I will make sure we go back because we are definitely covering season 2. Bank on that. But we will take the time and diligence to go through season 1 all over again. No, I do not believe they will Day of the Jekyll Sterling K. Brown. I think that and I'll leave it at that. I watched the first episode of The Pit. It's okay. You know, I to me it does. Boy, Noah Wiley loves him some medical dramas, right? Since he came from ER and all that. It's cool. The only issue I have with the pit is that there's too much medical jargon. Like my sister, my mom, like they're in the medical field. They would probably love that show, right? For me as an outsider, I think when you watch shows like Grey's Anatomy, like ER, Chicago MD, stuff like that, they make it to the point where it's a little bit more easily accessible for non-medically trained people. And I think this show was like, we're gonna have doctors write this, so it was interesting, but not enough to get me past episode 1. So maybe I'll go back to it, maybe I won't, but so far it was all right, but it wasn't that impressive to me. But if you like it, keep on watching it. Don't let me deter you. But thank you for that, sir. Appreciate you. All right, let's talk about boy. Y'all know. One thing that's gonna get it's a couple things that'll get the internet riled up. If it ain't Zack Snyder and the DC world of whatever, it's gonna be some Star Wars. And man, when I tell you some of this news that dropped, people was out here like the nerds was nerding. Okay. Some of the nerds, the Star Wars nerds, were nerding hard when they heard about this potential shakeup in Star Wars. So let's be clear. Star Wars for a long time, and we've talked about this is no secret. They have been struggling, right? Star Wars has had a lot of success, obviously, with the films in the past. The last trilogy, not so much. Left a lot of money on the table, even though it did earn a lot. But the fact that we haven't had a Star Wars movie since like 7 years ago, that's ridiculous, right? You have the very, very long track record of things being announced and nothing happening. Hey, Donald Glover has a movie. Psych. Hey, Taika Waititi's working on something. Whatever. Hey, Kevin Feige might be producing a movie. Haha, got you again. Like nothing has panned out. And it's just been a whole lot of like nonsense. Now, at the same time, we've gotten some good TV stuff, right? We've gotten Mandalorian, solid. Acolyte, not so much. Ahsoka, good stuff. So it's been hit or miss on the TV side, but the movie side, which and shout out to Rogue One, by the way, the movie side has been struggling. Solo, oof, that should have been so no, like no, thank you. I'm still mad when I went to Star Wars Celebration and they started talking about Solo, and the fans were like, Solo 2, Solo 2. I was like, are you mad? Are y'all crazy? Why are y'all cheering for a flop? That is wild business, like cheering for a pre-flop. Y'all want that. Everybody else don't. Because last time I checked, the general audience was not feeling Solo like that. It wasn't terrible, but it also was not very good. Anyway, so all of this goes right back to the source, Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, in case you did not know, is basically the head of Lucasfilm. She is the president. She is the Kevin Feige of Star Wars at this point. She runs it. It's her decision. Back and forth, up, down, left, right, A, B, start. This is what she does, right? So she has everything good that's happened with Star Wars to everything bad. It goes back to Kathleen Kennedy. Keep in mind, by the way, she was handpicked by George Lucas. Okay, so like George Lucas was working with her before Disney bought them out, and then they decided to keep her along, and they promoted her as the president. So she's been here from the jump, right? So it says here that Kathleen Kennedy, longtime president of Lucasfilm, is expected to step down at the end of 2025. She intends to retire after her current contract ends. A separate source dismissed the initial report This was by Puck, as pure speculation and nothing, and said nothing has been decided. Yikes. So, of course, people have been, raging online. Ding dong, Kathleen is gone, right? Like, people are like, yo, it's done. It's come on, let's go. That's it. It's finished. Okay. She's out of here. But they're saying, like, yo, this is speculation, you know. Um, but there's also been talk about this for a while that she could be out of here, So the next thing that comes up is, who y'all gonna replace her with, right? Because that's the real question of who's going to replace Kathleen Kennedy. And it's a similar question that comes up, similar to when we were talking about Kevin Feige. If you want to get rid of Kevin Feige, okay, that's fine. Who are you going to replace him with? Because if he's already at the top as a producer, all you're doing is demoting yourself, potentially. So Kathleen Kennedy, at the same time, while people do trash her, and don't get me wrong, there are critiques that can be made, she is also a prolific producer too. Like, her track record is kind of nasty, like in a good way. So how do you replace her? So this article kind of goes into a little bit of that. Like I said, George Lucas did handpick her. And they're saying here, insiders say that replacing the seasoned executive will be rather difficult. Some in the industry, from managers to reps, believe that the company's senior leadership has done a poor job in training and elevating a next generation of executives. So that kind of sucks. Like, ain't nobody else under her that has been trained to really take over the reins, according to these insiders. One person said, one reason Kathleen stuck around for so long is because there is no credible alternative. Yikes. It says Kennedy was a movie producer who ended up with a wide range of live action and animated series. It's a role that is less creative in nature and more blandly managerial than outsiders realize. And I think that this was important for us to kind of think about. The person says here, from a producer, what people don't understand is that it's not a creative job. That's about 10%. The rest of it is dealing with Disney, licensing, and fans. Wow. So I just kind of wanted to marinate on that for a little bit, because that is probably something that gets lost in the sauce, right? When we talk about Kevin Feige, Kathleen Kennedy, or James Gunn at DC, when we talk about them, a lot of us kind of go in, and me included, we go in with the impression that because you greenlight something, everything else that comes along with that, whether it's good or bad, it's on you, right? And that includes the creative decisions. So, what this producer is saying is like, nah, that's not exactly what the president of the company deals with. You're dealing with the rights and licensing. Hey, can we even use this character? Do we have the rights? Are there any legal things we got to deal with? You have to deal with your parent company, in this case, Disney. Oh, how's this going to work? Keep in mind, just like with Marvel, they were also tasked back during the pandemic era. There was that Disney mandate. Remember when Disney was like, oh yeah, we about to make Disney Plus a whole thing? They made Lucas film, they made Marvel, they made everybody drop what they were doing and focus on streaming. We want TV shows. Lucasfilm can't do what they want to do if they daddy Disney tells them otherwise, right? So a lot of that responsibility, according to this other producer, is saying, yo, Kathleen Kennedy, she's not the one in the writer's room, making up the terrible writing decisions with the acolyte. She might greenlight the project, but she just hopes for the best. Let's get the right talent here and let's see what happens. Now, the buck still stops with her. You still got to sign off on these things, but it's more business managerial stuff. So I thought that was interesting and maybe gives a little perspective for fans. Now, in terms of like who could take over, they have a couple options here, and this was one of the first picks I had, which was Jon Favreau. Y'all know Jon Favreau from the Iron Man movies. You also know he is the one that has given us the Mandalorian TV series, and he's going to direct the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So he would do that. But according to a source, it says that he won't want to be an executive, predicts one of the observers. So again, if this job is more about the business side of things or whatever, Jon Favreau is a creative. He's an actor, he writes, he directs. Does he want to give all that up just to go deal with licensing and fans? That was the other thing they mentioned, was like they got to deal with the fans. Like you have to come up with the PR stuff. You got to make sure the marketing is right. Like you got to do all this other stuff besides, is this actually a good movie or TV show? So Jon Favreau, maybe, maybe not. And of course, you got the other half is Dave Filoni, who was mentored by Lucas himself. I have told y'all this before. If you have any chance to watch the behind the scenes, I think it was the behind the scenes of the first season of Mandalorian, man, Dave Filoni was talking about this story, but with him and George Lucas, like when they say mentored by Lucas, he would go up to his house, sit down Indian style, and just listen to everything George Lucas said. Right? This dude had so much insight on the characters, on the story. He is a Star Wars fan inside and out. He is the nerd of all nerds for Star Wars. So having him in that position kind of makes some sense because he would at least understand the properties. Now, I like his last promotion that came from Kathleen Kennedy, and that was basically, you're going to be the creative overseer. They have Dave Filoni now. If somebody's doing a TV show, if somebody is doing a movie, it's got to go through Dave Filoni for creative reasons. I love that. That makes sense because this guy is solely responsible for making me a Star Wars fan in the first place, because it wasn't the movies. It definitely was not the movies. It was that Clone Wars animated TV series by Dave Filoni. That's what got me into Star Wars, because that told a fantastic story for Anakin that the movies never could. So as for Dave Filoni, they do say here that he's a great resource of knowledge, but he's ultimately a TV guy, says one source. He'll be killed by all sides. And yet another source tells the Hollywood Reporter that Filoni is already Disney's choice to succeed Kennedy, and predicts his ascendancy will be announced at Star Wars Celebration in April. Now, that would be interesting. That would be interesting if they decide to make Dave Filoni the president. I'm worried about it because Dave Filoni does not come off as the business executive type. That's who you need in this type of role as president. If you want to make something up and say, hey, you are the chief creative executive, fine. But the president, is that really his go-to? I don't know. Now, I've always said from the jump, y'all got to make the money team. And that is put Favreau and Filoni together. That right there is the Star Wars money team, because when they come together, I feel like they make magic, right? But again, we're going back to the same problem of, you got two guys that are nerds, that are creative, they are very passionate about this stuff. Are they going to be able to handle the business side of things? We don't know. Then here comes another potential. Y'all might have heard this name before. Kevin Feige. Yes, I've told y'all this before. Kevin Feige is a huge Star Wars nerd. This dude loves Star Wars probably more than he likes Marvel. I don't know if he'll admit it, but he loves him some Star Wars. He was supposed to do a Star Wars movie that fell off. But when it comes to Star Wars, he loves him some Star Wars. And if you're going to replace anybody as the president, why wouldn't you go for who's currently the number one best producer president out there right now in Kevin Feige? It's an in-house thing. It's just Disney to Disney. He probably just moves across to the next hall downstairs or something. I don't know, whatever. So Kevin Feige, if he ever decided to leave Marvel, coming to Star Wars might not be a bad idea. Star Wars is probably the closest thing to Marvel. Like, they have the movies, they have the TV shows, they have the animated stuff. They need a lot of help. And who better to help them but Kevin Feige? So I think that would actually be cool. But somebody said here, he's the only one that makes sense, but he needs to focus on Marvel. And that's true. Because Kevin Feige, unfortunately, and we've talked about this before, when the pandemic hit, that man was stretched too thin. He was doing everything, and it was too much. It was too much, too fast. Marvel started to decrease in quality. It was not good. So that was definitely a problem. Man, hold on. Matter of fact, even the article said that too. Hold on, where is it at? Right there. Yes, Feige has been stretched thin by the overly ambitious content demands of Disney Plus. Yes, when Disney kept trying to say we want more shows, listen, Kevin Feige was a movie guy. That's what he did. He didn't make TV like that. He did movies. And then Disney was like, F that. Make us movies or make us TVs, shows and stuff. So, it's he could make sense, but you need to get the ship at Marvel right first. You got to get Marvel at the point where it's in cruise control, because right now it's not. You got to get that hype back. You got to make sure that whoever takes over, maybe it's Brad Winderbaum, I don't know, but whoever it is, you're going to have to make sure that that gets back in the right way. J.J. Abrams is another option. I don't like it. I don't like JJ is the one that gave us the last Rise of Skywalker movie. Now, he was a producer on the other ones. He did direct The Force Awakens, so that was good. He directed Rise of Skywalker. That was terrible. I don't like JJ in this position. I think he is a better producer than he is a director, but I don't think. Here's the thing. You tell me a lot about yourself with your plans and with your ideas and what you say. This man literally walked in as a producer into the Star Wars franchise after the backlash of Rise of Skywalker. He was like, it probably would have been a good idea had we had a plan. You or I, if we were chosen to head a big old franchise like Star Wars, Marvel, we would have a plan. How did you go into a franchise like that and you didn't have a plan? That makes no sense. Makes no sense. So no to JJ. I would pass on that. I think the closest they can get is Filoni and Favreau, but even then, I still think y'all gonna have to get some business person. Get like one more person, make it a trio. I mean, Marvel got one, DC got two, maybe Star Wars needs three. Whatever, who cares? So that is probably going to be the best thing that they can do. However, while the Star Wars fans have been rejoicing and they have been celebrating the downfall of Kathleen Kennedy, she responded. They interviewed her and they was like, so what's up? When are you leaving? Are you leaving? What's going on? What do you think? Here's what she had to say. Yes. Okay, let's go with that first. They asked her, like, what is the truth? She said, the truth is, I don't want to just say out loud and clear, I'm not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. Okay. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob Iger and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bunch of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. I'm producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. Did y'all ever watch that Wolf on Wall Street on the Wolf on Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio? That's the scene that came to my mind. You know, where Leo was his character, he was supposed to be fired, he was supposed to be get out of there, and this man grabbed the mic and was like, "Guys, I'm so sorry, I got to do this." You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not effing leaving. I'm not leaving. Like, I felt like that's exactly how the energy that she had when she said that. So she is not going nowhere. She is counter to the previous article. They are grooming someone or maybe a pool of people to actually go ahead and take over. So she countering all that stuff. It says here, what do you make of this fixation? Because there is an obsession about when is she gonna leave? Can she leave? There are people that are like, she needs to be fired like every day. And she's like, it's all just manufactured. So whoever's coming up with it, she's like, yo, y'all making this stuff up. Like, I'm not ever leaving. I wonder if she made that face too. You know how Leo was, I'm not leaving. What else she say here? Oh yeah, there's a Sean Levy film. And this one is going to be the one that supposedly Ryan Gosling is going to be a part of. Now, I mean, guys, once again, but as we should know, anything announced with Star Wars, take it with a grain of salt. But supposedly Sean Levy's movie with Ryan Gosling, we don't know who or what he's gonna play. I still don't understand why people are obsessed with Ryan Gosling. Why do y'all try to make him the go-to actor like Margot Robbie? Margot Robbie, I understand, right? She's blonde, she's pretty. I get it, right? You got a dime a dozen of what do y'all see in Ryan Gosling? Like, I don't understand the hype. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying every single time I look up, it's something like Ryan Gosling should do this. Ryan Gosling is in the. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Anyway, his movie with Sean Levy will be set maybe 5 or 6 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So it would be more of a continuation type of deal if that happens. So at least we got that. But again, we'll see. She's talked about movies that should come out for a while. And yeah, whatever. How many development projects do you have percolating that you feel confident will turn into something down the line? Now, this is a real question. She said to play it safe, I say 3 or 4 right at the moment, ma'am. I'm gonna take your 3 or 4 and I'm gonna cut that in half, and I'm gonna say about 1 or 2, if that. You know, like asking her how many, asking the president of Star Wars right now how many movies they have in development is kind of like asking that certain person about their body count. If they say, "Oh, it's only been 3," nah, multiply that by 3. But in this case, you got to do subtraction. Okay. Like, oh, yeah, we got about like 4, 5, 4, 6. Nah, you got about 1 or 2. Because Mandalorian supposedly is actually done. Supposedly it's finished filming. So it's kind of hard to put that in the back. Like, stop it. Stop it. I don't trust you. We've had 7 years. 7 years of this person has a movie, that person has a movie, this person 7. You've just announced 3, and only one so far has been moving forward. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Anyway, she says here it's a good 2 to 3 years minimum commitment, and that's tough to get top talent to be able to carve out that kind of time. I believe that. Now that I do believe. Okay, I do believe that, and I think that speaks to being a producer, right? Like being a producer, you have to kind of figure out, yo, we got to juggle Sam Jackson's schedule, we got to juggle Pedro Pascal's schedule, we got to juggle, but this is why I have more respect right now for James Gunn, because he's like, yo, we're not going to announce nothing until we got a script. How many times have we heard from Kathleen Kennedy that this person has a script, that person has a script, this movie's coming, etc.? Why do we even know about that? What am I talking about? Taika Waititi. She talks about how he's working with a new writer for his Star Wars movie. She says, I think if we ever do get a script from Taika, stop right there. If we ever get a script from Taika, why are you even talking about this? I don't care if it's going to be right, great, fantastic, you love it. If we ever get one, how about we have nothing to talk about? How about when Taika has a script and it's finished and he puts it on our desk and we like it, then we will go ahead and talk about this. Taika is relaxing, probably with Rita, and his other girl. I don't know. That whole Tessa Thompson thing, that was a whole different thing. So I ain't going to comment on that. But I ain't heard nothing about Taika Waititi working on this script. Every time I hear about it, it's like, oh, he's working on it. Oh, he's working on it. Oh, he's working. What else is Taika doing? Is this going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's a real thing. So anyway, I just wish that they would just stop. Just stop announcing things unless you actually have them locked down. Because I understand, you're right. Trying to get all these actors, because the actor will be doing a TV series, they'll be doing a movie. And if you're trying to do Star Wars, you're going to have to clear your schedule for like 2 years, right? And that's hoping that nothing bad happens in those 2 years. That's money that you're not making, in that meantime. So that's a hell of a commitment for an actor, especially if you're talking about the top tier actors. So how about y'all just don't announce nothing until you actually get them to sign on a contract and you got a script? Simple as that. Anyway, she was asked the last question here. Who will make the final decision? Like, when you ready to step down, who's gonna make that final decision? She said, me. It's my decision. This is 100% my decision. Okay. All right. So y'all heard it from her. That's it. She is the say. It stops and ends with her when it comes to whether she's staying at Lucasfilm or not, or how long. So there you go. All right, guys. Y'all let me know, what did you think about the Kathleen Kennedy story? People thought she was gonna go. She already told y'all she's not effing leaving. What do you think? How do you feel about the projects that she got coming up? Do you think they're actually gonna happen? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's go. We got one more topic left. DJ, what if season 3 was awful? Run my X-Men, I'm rioting. Well, it's very possible that that could be the case. Or you said here, ruin my X-Men animated season 2, I'm rioting. Yes. I'm concerned. I'm concerned on both ends. Both ends. They might. I'd rather go in with lower expectations now than trying to come off with a high that I had with X-Men 97. So lower your expectations and hope for the best. All right. Now's the time that some of y'all probably came for. So your boy, me, I'm your boy, happened to meet some people that y'all know as the Russos. Hold on here. Hold on, because I do want to make sure that I show a little something. Woo, woo, woo! Look at that, and you see the cream. You see the cream colors. Okay, you see the. Let me get the picture right for this. I want to get the picture right. I don't like that one. Do we have a better one? Yeah, let's make that. You see your boy in the suit. Okay, this is Joe Russo, one half of the Russo brothers. And shout out to my homegirl Sticky Keys for recording this interaction, because it was a little tough getting pictures and stuff at this event. So let me give y'all some little background information first. And actually, let me I need to upload some other stuff here while I tell y'all the story. So while we I don't have it here. Okay, give me 1 second, because I know y'all gonna ask, but what happened? Your boy got invited to cover The Electric State. So The Electric State, in case you did not know, that is a Netflix movie that is starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. So this is also going to be directed by the Russo brothers, right? So of course I was like, what? Yes, sign me up. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be a part of that, right? And I got lucky. And they accepted me to go be a part of this red carpet junket thing, right? Now, when I got there, I was not able to interview them, right? Because I didn't even know if they were going to be there. Right? I was just kind of going there, and I found out like, oh, okay, you can interview some other folks, but nothing with the Russos. So I was like, dang, man, all right, well, oh well. At least I'm out here. I'll have a good time. I'm sitting down for the screening, and at the screening, the Russo brothers show up, which, okay, whatever, I'm like, all right, they show up. It's nice. Now they told us to dress up, right? You see the suit, you see the fit. So I was like, dang, okay, they must be doing like an after party or something, right? So the Russo brothers show up. So I was like, dang, man, if the Russo brothers showed up, they probably gonna be at the after party. So I was like, okay. So I go to the after party and see them. And I was like, ooh, okay. Russos are here. Y'all, this is gonna be the make or break. This is gonna be it. Because let's be honest, okay? They not about to give your boy no love over there at Marvel and let me talk to the Russos. I'm just listen. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I just find it incredibly unlikely, because they're going to be so popular. They're going to want to find the influencers with millions of followers. They're going to find the safer outlets. I already understand it. I'm not that high on the bucket list, right? I get that. I'm on the B team. I ain't on the A team. So I looked at this moment and this opportunity as, this is my shot. This is my time, right? If there was ever a time for me to say everything and anything that I need to say to the Russo brothers, this is it. So first, I started with Anthony Russo. He's the other brother, right? This is Joe, but I started with Anthony. And when I started to talk to Anthony, I was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was nervous, but I didn't have my game plan because I didn't know that they were going to be there. So I'm talking to Anthony. I was like, hey, Anthony, how you doing, man? Big fan of your movies. Thank you so much for, the end game and all the other stuff. And he was just very nice, and the whole time I just had a brain fart. Like I had a brain fart where I was and he asked me, he was like, yo, are we going to talk to you later? And I was just like, oh, no, I didn't get the interview with y'all. So I was like, you know what? Maybe another time in the future. Now I'm still trying to play it cool. I don't want to seem like some thirsty fan. So I was like, all right, see you later, Anthony. And I'm like, stupid. You a pro at this. What are you doing? And I just let him walk away. I was like, I can't do this. I can't be flying on these flights that be crashing in the air and risking my life. And I know for a fact, if I came here and told y'all I met a Russo and I didn't talk to them about anything else, y'all would have my head. Y'all would leave me be so fast. Okay. Them numbers would just drop. And I wouldn't blame you because that'd be a fumble of a bag. However, I got to see Joe. And I said, you know what? I missed with the other Russo, but I ain't going to miss with you, Joe. I'm not going to miss. I waited. Boy, I waited and waited. He was talking to some other people because you don't want to look too thirsty either. I waited, and then I saw my opportunity. I say, hey. See, now what you do is, I'm going to give y'all a little pro tip, okay? Don't look thirsty. First of all, get you a drink, just so you see I got the drink in my hand. Get you a drink so it look like you're a little preoccupied. And what you do is you get in their path, okay? So I was looking at him. He was walking that way. So I said, I'm going to walk and stand right here. So that way, I know you came from this direction, but you're going to have to walk past me. So that way it don't look like I'm chasing you, but I am chasing you, but I'm positioned the right way. That's a little pro tip for y'all. Anyway, Joe turns around and I was like, hey, Joe, how's it going? Turned around. He was like, hey, how's it going? I said, hey, man, thank you so much. Just wanted to tell you, I'm a big fan of your work. I really love what you guys did with Captain America. And first of all, you gotta ease them in, right? You gotta kind of make it nice for them and all that, right? So I was like, man, you know what? Listen, I've bought out a theater for y'all Avengers movies and stuff. Like, y'all have done the whole thing, So, and he's like, man, first of all these Hollywood folks, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. They love it. You gotta ease them in. Okay, give them the butter. Give them the butter. Y'all know why I'm here. And I know why y'all are here. So I had to tell him the very first thing. But before I tell y'all, can we bring y'all a quick little ad real quick? Let me just play this ad real quick.
Say T'Challa, we need a recast. Chat would agree, and I truly believe that. Stories untold, I pray that we get to unfold. Don't kill him, we don't need to see that. A black man is king, I think that is crucial. If not for the grown-ups, the kids should move you. Representation, let it multiply. Stop telling the stories, how legacies die. We can explore the world of Wakanda by addition and not replacement. 1.3 billion, how was that? And I'm making a statement. Being pigeonholed to a role like there could be only one is deflating. Man, it's a mindset that ain't died yet, cause the lack of seeing our faces. Sure, we can be the queen of the nation. Women should feast, we want elevation. Now, wouldn't it be dope if they rose up together without doing something as cold as erasing them? We got respect for Ryan and Nate. They doing their best, they stuck in the middle, but I hope they think about what is at stake. Don't rush it, but please let the saga continue. Doubling down on Black Death is a trope we no longer want to handle. Wakanda forever, T'Challa forever. It's never been about the man, so what is we saying? This ain't about Phantom and getting my way. It's all for the love, it's not for the hate. No matter what people are trying to say, we cast T'Challa. We cast T'Challa.
So, yes, y'all know that was all I needed to talk to him about. Okay. So, as you will see in this video, no, I did not play the whole music video for him, but I did want to tell him straight up how much he meant to me and the fandom in terms of what they gave to us with T'Challa, right? That introduction in Civil War, fantastic. Hold on, let me get y'all the other. Okay, this ain't a lot, but it's a little something. What they gave us with Civil War and T'Challa was fantastic. I told him straight up, you guys gave us the best version. Rest in peace to Chadwick. But you gave us the best version of T'Challa that we've seen. The fighter, the strategist, the dude that was no nonsense. That was that guy, right? And what I asked him specifically was, and this is where you don't see a lot, but you see the phone, right? I asked him straight up, do you mind if I share my dream with you real fast? Right? That's all I asked. I was like, can I share my dream with you? And he was like, sure, absolutely. And he is so nice. Okay. Shout out to the Russos. Joe was so nice. He was like, I don't mind. I got all these people I could talk to. Let me talk to this one guy. And I showed him on my phone a couple of images that from the comics that I was like, I would love and I would hope to see something like this one day. What you did for Captain America, what you did for Steve Rogers, lifting up that hammer, what you did in those movies. If I saw these things on screen, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. And not only that, I also told him, because I know some of y'all are gonna be like, well, did you tell him don't get Tucson? Did you tell him? Listen, we ain't had time for all that. Okay. We ain't had time to talk about T'Challa Jr. and the problems and recap. We didn't have time for that. I had to be strategic and quick with my 45 seconds that I had with him. So I did tell him we would love you guys have access to the multiverse, and a variant would be perfect. A variant with Dr. Doom issues, with a Destroy Wakanda, that would be perfect. Okay, so I put that out there. I put that out there. Now, I wanted to share with y'all some of the images that was all the video that we were allowed to take because we weren't supposed to shoot video. So sorry. But we do have some of the images here. Let me see if I got them. But one of them is a little spoilery. So if you want to tune away, I guess I'm gonna show y'all two, and I'm gonna save the last one. You know, oh no, don't do that. Give me that third one. Hold on. I'm gonna try and get this other image here for y'all. Yes, there we go. So here's the first image that I showed him, and I was like, listen, you guys are dealing with Secret Wars. And in case you read the comics, which I know they have, there are 3 important scenes for T'Challa. Okay, not Junior, just a variant T'Challa, whatever. The first one would be this. This would be the scene. I think this was in the Time Runs Out comic, where T'Challa is the first one to actually see the Earths colliding with each other. Okay, he was the first one to see that in the comics. So I'm like, that scene right there would be amazing if we can see a variant T'Challa looking up and seeing the incursions happen. Second one, and this one goes right into what I was telling you guys about with my theory. I kind of shared it a little bit with them, but not in detail, was I need to see this. And that is T'Challa at the head of the table of the Illuminati. We had recently talked about how the director of Cap 4, I think we talked about this last week, the director of Cap 4, he sat here and said that there was a deleted scene or a post-credit scene where potentially the Illuminati were going to make it into Cap 4, but they pulled it because they wanted to save it for later. My theory is one of 2 things is the case. One, either that Illuminati had Captain America in it, which he was in the comics, and they didn't want to have Chris Evans, Steve Rogers show up because it would upend, everything with Sam being there and it'd be a distraction. Or 2, T'Challa was there and they weren't ready to show another Black Panther yet. So I think that was one of the reasons. So I told him, I was like, listen, it ain't got to be a long thing. It could be a post-credit scene, but I really do believe, Aldous Hodge, if y'all got a T'Challa in there as the Illuminati, this would be amazing, right? Now, this one is a little spoilery. So again, if you hear, you already hear. But I showed him this image and I told him, if you put this in there, I will cry. As a grown man, I will cry, because when I saw this in the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, it was amazing. It was a very important role in in the Secret Wars story with T'Challa, and I showed him this image. That's right. That is T'Challa grabbing and putting on the gauntlet. Okay. You can have Cap raise up that hammer. You can have T'Challa put on that gauntlet. Okay. You do that, we're passing out. We're screaming. You do that, the Black community is standing up. Okay. I'm getting goosebumps just now. Just look at it. That ain't Ash. That's goosebumps. You give me this. Okay. So I told Mr. Russo this. Okay. I told him that. And I was like, listen, you do this. This right here would make my dreams come true. Okay. What he said to me right after that. Thank you. Thank you for showing me this. We needed this kind of reminder. We appreciate that. When I tell you, I almost wanted to cry. I almost wanted to have a tear of just, because I felt what he was saying. I've been around Hollywood folks, right? I'm not trying to brag or nothing. I'm just saying, like, I've been around the atmosphere, and sometimes you can feel when they're just kind of giving you the Hollywood, oh, thanks. Hey, let's do lunch. Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? This did not feel like that. I look at body language when I talk to these folks. When they're not interested in you, they be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, sure. We should do that. They're not interested. This man turned to me, looked at me, talked to me, looked me in my eyes, and was like, yo, like, thank you. Like, this, thank you for this. We needed that reminder. We appreciate that. And I really felt that he was genuine about it. Now, am I putting my 100% hope and expectations that this is going to happen? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not naive. I understand that there are other powers that be and other things, but dang it, I'm talking to the source. The only thing we can do is hope to be heard. And I'm happy that we were heard. It doesn't mean they're going to follow through with it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Maybe they already had that planned out. I don't know. Maybe this was the seed that will grow, and maybe we'll see. I don't know. But I'm happy and I feel accomplished that the seed was at least planted. Because as I've been saying, even with the Recast T'Challa movement, I've told y'all the one thing we can do, we cannot twist Marvel's arm. We cannot force Disney to do stuff. But at least if we can be heard, it's the least that we can ask for. And I feel like we were heard. So that was it. Guys, I hope y'all, I hope I did something for y'all, for us. Okay. I didn't want to let that moment slip away. I hope it did something. I did not want to have that whole trip be wasted for sure. But I know one thing. If God blesses me with that opportunity to talk to them again, I'm bringing this up again. Okay, like I hope y'all understand. This will come back up. Okay, let's just be honest with it. It's gonna happen again. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little story. I hope that I did you guys proud. Hopefully that if T'Challa comes and grabs a gauntlet, man. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Let me know, what did you think about meeting the Russos? I know there was 50 million things that I coulda, woulda said if I had more time. I know. Okay. I know. Please do not sit here and be like, E-Man, how come you didn't talk about this? I have 45 seconds on the spot. Okay, y'all lucky I was able to even find them pictures in them 30 seconds right before. So I did the best I could. All right, I did the best I could. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's see, JN. Alexa, play Lose Yourself by Eminem. Sure, great song. Thank you so much. DJ, what you got? Punisher Warzone, when he shot that dude jumping off rooftop with a rocket launcher, is the Punisher I want. Yes. Also, I'm not hating on Cap 4. I love the character. They need to build better on this Cap version of Cap. I agree, and I think they will build better around him. I think he will be better, and I've said this before. Anthony Mackie does better when he's a supporting character more so than a lead. So I do think that if you put him in an Avenger movie and we get him in small doses, he will be better in that way. So thank you, DJ. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Excuse me. Oh, DJ again. They should have gotten braver with Cap's character development and race issues. It would make him stand out more, his own version of Cap, in my opinion. I totally agree. Totally agree. Yes, you so yeah, we're on the same page with that. JN, I appreciate you, black man. I appreciate you using your platform and influence to help the culture. If the Russos directed, I'm in. Recast T'Challa. Thank you so much. Do what I can for the peoples. That is why I am here. JN again, what kind of scenes were the best part in Infinity War? Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And listen, like, even the Russos admitted this later. They had no idea the impact of Black Panther. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring that up to them, because I'm like, y'all slept on this before. Don't sleep on him again. You know, don't sleep on what T'Challa can do again. You know, like, this is not, it's $1 billion franchise walking, right? I don't know. I wish Marvel would listen, but we'll see. But yes, with you on that. Puma, T'Challa Senior is what we need. Sure, let's hope. Let's hope, even as a variant. Let's hope. CPT, thank you for speaking up. Anytime I can, I will. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate y'all for the support. All right, guys, that is all I've got for tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the support. I definitely appreciate the fridge support. Oh my God, I have to go try and fix this thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you again. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I don't think I do. But we can definitely meet up again soon. We've got Daredevil that will be starting up. Keep in mind the first 2 episodes drop for Daredevil. I think it's on the 4th. So we'll be covering those. And then we'll follow everything else after that. I don't know exactly when we'll talk about Paradise. Maybe we'll do something for the finale, because I feel like the finale is going to be nuts. I haven't seen it yet. We'll see, but we will cover it. Wait. King Chad, what you got? Thank you, E-Man. I'm writing more letters to the Russos and Ryan and E-Man. Can I send questions to E-Man about helping more? Thank you, from Reese. Reese, this is the perfect place where you can send stuff, or just express it on social media. Either way is fine by me. But thank you so much for your support. And yeah, hopefully the Russos listen to you. I wish the Russos, that'd be great. Tell the Russos, send it to their company. What is it? Agbo. I think that's their production company. Sure, I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. They like to hear from fans. Or hit them up on Instagram. I think they're also on Instagram too. That's where they're more responsive now. I think they got off of Twitter. Puma, what you got? Best news for Black Panther, the real T'Challa. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm not putting all my hopes on this. I'm not trying to, get too excited to be disappointed, but I'm just saying I feel accomplished that at least something was done. At least. But all right, guys, that's it. Appreciate you. It's the weekend, so make sure you're out there being safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. The routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, see you guys later. Peace.
Wakanda
save T'Challa. We need a recast, chat would agree, and I truly believe that. Stories untold, I pray that we get to unfold. Don't kill him, we don't need to see that. A black man is king, I think that it's crucial. If not for the grown-ups, the kids should move you. Representation, let it multiply. Stop telling the stories, how legacies die. We can explore the world of Wakanda by addition and not replacement. 1.3 billion, how is that? And I'm making a statement. Being pigeonholed to a role like there could be only one is deflating. Man, it's a mindset that ain't died yet, cause the lack of seeing our faces. Shuri can be the queen of the nation. Women should feast, we want elevation. Now wouldn't it be dope if they rose up together without doing something as cold as erasing them? We got respect for Ryan and Nate, they doing their best, they stuck in the middle, but I hope they think about what is at stake. Don't rush it, but please let the saga continue. Doubling down on Black Death is a trope we no longer want to handle. Wakanda forever, T'Challa forever. It's never been about the man, so what is we saying? This ain't about Phantom and getting my way. It's all for the love, it's not for the hate. No matter what people are trying to say, we cast T'Challa. We cast T'Challa.